following program is a presentation of the Seattle Seahawks and the National Football League.
Well, as a player, you've made it through the entire offseason. You've done the OTAs, the mini camps, the workouts, the training camp, preseason games 1, 2, and 3, and now it all comes down to one last chance to prove that you belong in the National Football League. It's the final game of the preseason as the Raiders come visiting your Seattle Seahawks. Welcome to the broadcast booth, everyone. CURT, MENEFEE alongside Brock HUARD. And Brock, you know, for a lot of these guys, this is it. I mean, this is your chance to prove, forget the numbers, forget the other guys at your position, that you should be a Seattle Seahawk. Any guys tonight that you're looking forward to seeing try and prove that?
I just can't wait to watch Shaquem play tonight. And some of this is probably the presidency bias of being there with him yesterday in the building and his joy and charisma to play. Oakland's got a lot of guys that aren't playing tonight. A bunch of their rookies aren't playing tonight. Seahawks rookies are playing. They're going to be led by Shaquem, I think, in that way. He's going to start. You know, and he was asked yesterday, hey, are you thinking about Denver with KJ's injury? You may start. He said, man, I'm thinking about making this football team, right? He's been around the business with his brother last year. He knows that he's got to make the team first. And, hey, guess what? You made the team. Now go out and play tonight.
Not only made the team, you may be a starter week 1, as you said. But, you know, a lot of other guys, they need to make impressions. But as we sit back and we watch 3 preseason games so far, what has impressed you, whether it's individually or about a unit or about this team, period?
I think there's 2 things, Kurt. I think number 1, maybe most importantly for Seahawks fans, is the ability to run the football. They did it all preseason long, and a lot of credit to Mike Solari. He talked about, and we had heard this offseason with some of the coaching changes, that they were going to be more diversified in their run game, and they have. The running backs have averaged about 4 yards a carry getting after it, and you've seen the whole playbook there for Mike, and you've seen it executed in a way we haven't in years. And Chris Carson's also been a part of that. You know, Chris won the opening job a season ago because of his work in the preseason. I don't expect to see a lot of run out of Chris tonight. We've seen enough, over 80 yards, and most importantly for Chris, some open lanes to run through. So that's number 1, the run game. Number 2 was just your player to watch. Michael Dixon is the talk of not just this town, I think of the NFL. You know, the Raiders on the other side drafted a conventional 5th-round punter. You're not hearing him talked about. You're hearing about this guy from Australia who punts the ball in ways that Pete Carroll has never seen before, and we have sure enjoyed over these first 3 games.
I tell you what, if you saw the way the players reacted to him on the sideline last week when he was punting, you know that there was excitement with him. All right, Russell Wilson probably not going to play tonight. We'll find out how the guys perform that are on the field as we wrap up the preseason when we come back. Seahawks football is brought to you by CenturyLink, your link to what's next. Beautiful night here in Seattle as we get ready to wrap up the preseason. Raiders in town, 2-1 on the preseason campaign. Pete Carroll's gang trying to win their first contest and wrap up the preseason campaign with a victory. The Oakland Raiders have won the toss, so we'll get to see the 19-year veteran Sebastian Janikowski, who played those first 18 years with the Raiders, kicking off now for the Seahawks.
And I know he's played an awfully long time, but this has got to be a little surreal for him too, doesn't it? He wore that silver and black for all of those years, and to see former teammates now, been wholesale changes on that Raiders group. They brought in over 40 players, including the new head coach as well, but I think Sebastian Janikowski's probably got a little unique feeling looking at the silver and black that he's kicking to, and more than likely going to kick it out of the end zone.
I was going to say maybe a little bit juice for this first kickoff. James Butler, the guy back deep to receive for the Raiders.
And the Raiders actually won the toss, and they are taking the ball, and I think that's because John Gruden wants E.J. Manuel to feel it right away. Some pressure on E.J. and Connor Cook. You're going to hear that competition on the Raiders side an awful lot tonight. You'll probably see John Gruden's shot too. He's been hard on those guys. He's hard on quarterbacks. He's not necessarily like, I think, their productivity over the preseason. You can hear him right there. Let's go. Let's get this thing on.
Gruden, the second step with the Raiders, of course. Last coach Oakland in 2001. Short kick. Instead of going all the way to the end zone and being juiced up and scooped up by Johnny Holton, he makes it back out to about the 29-yard line, and that's where E.J. Manuel will start. You talked about it. Derek Carr, obviously, their Pro Bowl quarterback, is the starter. They're trying to figure out who's the backup right now.
It may not be either of these guys. You know, there's going to be some quarterbacks that are released here over the next 48 hours, and John Gruden is difficult on those quarterbacks. EJ's used to that. Jimbo Fisher was difficult on him as he became a first-round pick in Buffalo. He's got to cut it loose tonight.
Ball officially spotted over 28. So Manuel will begin there. Chris Warren prefers some of the former Seahawks. Gets the carry and is met before he even got back to the line of scrimmage. Great job getting through. Nas Jones with the tackle.
Yeah, Nas has watched some of the other guys play ahead of him. Tom Johnson, Jaron Reed, Shamar Stephen. You'll see him do a wonderful job with his hands, just crossing the face. Those big fellas, we've seen in the preseason. You know, we'll watch practice, and they're always talking about that hand placement and getting across those defenders. Every inch matters, and Nas with the tackle for loss on first down.
The handoff to Warren again. This time picks up just a couple of yards, keeps on fighting out to the 32-yard line.
A couple zone runs there. You're going to see a lot of that tonight. Mr. Warren has seen a lot of carries this preseason.
He's the leading rusher in the National Football League right now in preseason.
Well, he's also now got 48 carries. You see Shamar Stephen a part of that pile. Lots of zone run because not just John Gruden on the other side, Tom Cable as well. You see our fans in the stands know what kind of run game he likes to have.
Leaving the 38-yard line from the shotgun, empty backfield. Manuel throwing that out, and it's incomplete. Broken up nicely by Justin Coleman. Shocker. This kid can play.
Yeah, he's been the highest graded player here in the preseason by Pro Football Focus, and that's what he's done. We've seen that 2 different times already this preseason. Third down, little option route, just trying to get past the sticks. There is nowhere for EJ to throw that football, and 28's become, I think, one of the top 5 nickel slot corners in the NFL.
Johnny Townsend, their 5th-round draft pick as a punter, taking 24 slots behind Michael Dixon, kicks this one to David Moore. Moore signals for the fair catch, and the Seahawks will start inside their own 24-yard line. Oh, this 4th preseason game, like most teams, the majority of Seahawks starters won't play tonight. Austin Davis will get the start at quarterback instead of Russell Wilson, and obviously we know Wilson will be the guy. Davis, well, he was the number 2 last year and was in a battle this year with Alex Magoo, the rookie. That battle's still going on, but the Seahawks, as you mentioned earlier, traded for Brett Hundley yesterday as well from the Packers. So it's going to be a fight for Mr. Davis to make this team. On first down, Chris Carson. Carson just trying to solidify his spot.
No Dwayne Brown, no Justin Britt, no DJ Fluker, but you do see Jermaine Ifedi and Ethan Posick there in the huddle. Jordan Roos next to Ifedi, and I like that. Young players that need this turn. They need this run. They need this opportunity. Jermaine, a tremendous game last week in Minnesota. We look to build upon it tonight.
Joey Hunt, and there's the starting center. Pitch goes to Carson. Picks up the cover for Warren. I said he's trying to solidify his spot. He's trying to solidify his spot as the starting running back. Brad Vinny still out with that broken finger. Vinny McKissick out with a foot injury. And Carson has been the workhorse all along. And without those guys, you expect him to get even more run earlier this season. Brian Schottenheimer, the new offensive coordinator. He goes up on 3rd down. Pass for Davis. Jones, back shoulder, throw, complete. Jaron Brown.
That's what we go to this preseason. Just a one-on-one, man-to-man situation. You saw Oakland the same deal, throw the lob route. Austin says, no, let this back shoulder fit him down. Really, all 3 quarterbacks this preseason. Magoo, a touchdown pass a week ago in Minnesota on that back shoulder. Jerome Brown does a nice job, gets the eyes back. As a QB, you're looking for the feel, that body language to say that QB or that receiver feels what I'm feeling. Put on the back shoulder, move to James.
Pick up at 17 to the 46. Davis looking comfortable again. This time, no flag yet. David Moore went down.
get the penalty flag. And you saw the back shoulder on the last play. This time it's the go route, the more traditional means, and that's not a penalty.
Nope.
There's nothing reaching there. That's just incidental in the act of the play. Their feet get tangled, unfortunately, because that looked like a good route and another pretty good throw by Austin.
Fighting to get back to the line of scrimmage before Jason Kabinda made the stop.
He's been their leading tackler. Rookie out of Penn State. That's a little screen pass. I like the call there. Just trying to get to a more manageable third down situation, but read very well by the rookie middle linebacker out of Penn State. Chases it down. It's into an obvious 3rd and 10 passing situation.
Got across the 45-yard line of Oakland. Just inside the 44 needed for the first. Davis zips that one right over the middle, and not for the first down. Caught by his tight end, Nick Bennett.
Tremendous pocket once again. My eyes are on MENEFEE on that right side. He does an excellent job getting his hands on the Oakland Raider pass rushing end. Gives Austin Davis the opportunity to step in the pocket. And if that play looked familiar, it should. That play was ran against the Colts in the opening drive. About the same area of the field, fell incomplete. Eventually, Russell Wilson got the conversion, led to the touchdown, but a wonderful job there by Nick Bennett, separating himself in zone coverage and giving Davis the opportunity to put it on his numbers.
Needed 10, got 11. The end around, Keenan McReynolds. And the kid was a rushing quarterback out of Navy. Gets around the end, picks up a couple of yards. Well, one thing we've seen, Brian Schottenheimer not necessarily hiding the playbook here with the backups playing tonight.
No, and maybe part of that is Austin saying, hey, coach, I know that Brett Hundley was signed here, but we've got some background together. Schottenheimer and Austin have been around, and there shouldn't. And Pete Carroll's going to empower Brian Schottenheimer to give Austin Davis the best chance for success tonight for a Seahawk and for everybody else in the league to look what he can do.
Here's Mike Davis. His first carry of the night, gets back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Austin Davis started 8 games at quarterback for the St. Louis Rams when Schottenheimer was their offensive coordinator, so those guys know one another rather well.
Once again, Kabinda on the tackle, their leading tackler, kind of like Shaquem on the other side. Very active rookies. I'm curious here, Paul Guenther, D coordinator for Oakland, will he finally bring a little pressure? Just been 4-man rush in the previous third downs. Seahawks have converted on the strength of number 6 line.
Ninth play of this opening drive. Draw play. Mike Davis breaks the tackle, gets the first down. And that's exactly what the Seahawks want to see out of Davis.
What's that, getting the pads down? Running through tackles. Inside little pull and trap. Posick did such a good job of it a week ago. He comes around again with his eyes up. Both man wins, and Mike Davis gets those pads down. 3 for 3 on third down conversions to begin the opening drive for the Seahawks.
9 yards on the run. Of course, Davis was the starter 6 of the last 7 games last season after all the injuries at running back. Off the play thing. Austin Davis sacked. Thought he had time to get rid of it, but just couldn't make the decision to pull the trigger. Tank Carradine gets the sack instead.
Carradine, the guy for the Raiders that is fighting for his roster spot, came over from the 49ers. That's the area of the field you like to take those shots. They're just outside the extended red zone there, inside the 40-yard line. It's a little better rush, actually finding through a chip block as well. But from Carradine with the big sack.
Has time. Flags down in the backfield. Wide open down the field. Long down into the end zone. But wait a minute. Let's see what the flag is. Going to be coming back, holding Seahawks. The referee, Walt Anderson.
Holding, number 79, offense. 10-yard penalty, still second down.
It's big Isaiah battle. A little bit more on the right side of the line, but with the 30 starting the right tackle, Isaiah's going to slide over with Dwayne Brown, getting the night off, and play that left tackle spot, and he's looking up at the big screen saying, what'd I do? 6'7", 315 pounds, and about as long arms as you're going to find of any tackle in this league. And you can hear Mike Solari say, that's not a hold. Keep these scrambles. You got to give these linemen at times a little bit of liberty, a little bit of freedom. And negates a really beautiful play by Davis.
Negates what would have been a touchdown. Back all the way to the 46-yard line. Mike Davis with a big hole. Flags down in the secondary as Davis spins his way out across the 35-yard line, being tackled by Shalom Luwani.
Holding number 79, offense. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Still second down.
They say it's okay to make mistakes, but you don't want to make the same mistake twice. And Isaiah Battle called back-to-back plays for holding. He's out of the game now.
And remember, Isaiah is also working himself back. Got banged up in that first preseason game against the Colts. Got his legs rolled into. He's missed a little bit of practice time. He's trying to get a little bit comfortable, and I like this. Just take him out for a minute, let him collect his thoughts. Not surprised to see Dwayne Brown following him, the veteran leader on that offensive line. I'm sure there will be some words of wisdom and encouragement to try to settle things down.
Willie Beavers comes in to replace him. Here's Davis under pressure. Stepping up, throwing, overthrows David Moore, incomplete. Just a little bit too much. And Davis limping out.
You got a call for this one? 3rd and 27.
Well, they've been aggressive.
They have been. Quite honestly, this is just get yourself in field goal range.
Yeah.
You know, this is the area where Sebastian Janikowski has kicked 50-plus. He did a week ago. If you're Austin Davis, you're just looking for about 10 yards here to give Sebastian at least the opportunity.
Empty backfield as C.J. Prosise spreads out wide to the right. That's where the throw goes, and he goes absolutely nowhere after the catch. Down at the 42-yard line. That'd be about a 60-yard attempt right now. So instead, they're going to send Michael Dixon out to punt. Mr. Excitement.
You know what I would like to see tonight?
What would you like to see?
How about a drop kick field goal?
Ah. Look at you.
I think 60 is going to be a little much for that,
Yeah.
but I would sure Michael practices it quite often. He does it in warm-ups. We get a chance to see that at some point tonight.
Instead, just another big, high, hanging punt. Keon Hatcher makes the fair catch just shy of the 11th-yard line. And so the Seahawks turn it over on downs. The Raiders will take over midway through this first quarter of this final preseason game. Don't go anywhere. American Family Insurance tells us about the new local food options here at CenturyLink. Seahawks and Raiders scoreless in this final game of the preseason. Just under 7 minutes left in this opening quarter. Raiders getting the ball for the second time tonight. Seattle has had it twice. Now the team able to put it 20 points per game.
Nice drive. 3 third-down conversions. Marching down. Actually had to take the touchdowns a couple different times now. 3 different times this preseason. Down against the Chargers in L.A. Carson's touchdown run comes off the board. The punt return last week in Minnesota comes off the board. And I think a pretty iffy call against Isaiah Battle takes a touchdown pass off the board.
Think how many touchdowns the Seahawks have lost on punters this year?
Yep.
There's one by Chris Carson, 2 games against the Chargers. Last week on the punt return by David Moore, and then right here on the 3 of call against Battle. E.J. Manuel in quarterback started. Just outside of his 11-yard line, pass dropped. Marcus Baugh, his tight end, the intended receiver on that one. Actually, it's caught. My bad, Shaquem Griffin right there with the tackle.
322 Y stick. That play was put in day 1. Bill Walsh 35, 40 years ago, 50 years ago. And John Gruden's still going to run it today. And Shaquem Griffin all over it. 4-yard gain as Shaquem hunted that stick right down.
To the 15-yard line. Off the play fake. Manuel. Open. Another tight end. Big hit. Farrell Brown made the catch off the Califro, drawing the flag afterwards.
I think we saw one of these called last week in Minnesota. And actually all around the NFL, the penalty rate for the helmet came way down.
Personal foul, lowering the head to initiate contact. Number 58, defense. 15-yard penalty. First down.
So 22-yard gain, then another 15 on the penalty. 37 yards altogether, and you'll see Calitro lower his head, and they're going to call this every single time.
And that is tough as that player spins into it, and I'm sure Dave Wyman's going to have some commentary. Austin Calitro, you saw him bite both against Shaquem on that hard run action. He's flying into the line of scrimmage. And he turns tail and runs all the way down the field, and the tight end turns into him as he's going to make that tackle. That's a tough call on the linebacker.
But that's the call they're making. It is. Penalty balls in Seattle territory. Chris Warren. Initially, flags come flying again as Warren is eventually stopped.
You had made the comment last week that there was commentary about the incidental nature of those helmet-to-helmet contacts.
Holding number 81, offense, 10-yard penalty on the spot of the foul, still first down.
Penalty on Farrell Brown, but yeah, they slowed it down, and that's why we saw fewer calls last week. Only 9 in the 16 NFL games last week, when there were 51 in the 33 previous. So about 1.5 per game the first 2 weeks, less than half in week, or just about half in the third week.
And all of that will be reviewed as you see the former Duck there, Farrell Brown, coming off the field. He's been plagued by those holding calls this preseason. But that will be one that will certainly be under consideration. And as I said, I think our middle linebacker, Mr. Lyman, may have some commentary on that at halftime.
Quick pass by Manuel out to Aikman. Brought down immediately by Dante Johnson. He kind of felt weird falling backwards there. Dante Johnson getting the chance to show what he can do. At that cornerback spot, there really is an open competition right now, still for that, for the starter.
Byron Maxwell has been banged up. We've not seen Nico Thorpe, the former Raider. Really good special teams player. He's down again tonight. We've not seen him. I think throughout the evening, it will be Trey Flowers and Dante Johnson trying to prove and show what they can do.
Another pass down. Manuel brings it down, slides right in front of Shaquem Griffin. He saw Shaquem coming. He said, hey, maybe I'll just get down.
Yeah, look at the smile right there.
Like, I saw you coming at me.
I know what you were thinking, 49. You're a heat-seeking missile. And quarterback's got an awfully big target. Already 3 tonight. Came in with 17, pacing the Seahawks in this preseason. EJ avoided what would have been, I think, a pretty monster shot.
Seahawks trying to get another stop on third down. Four-man rush past Clark. Right in front of Justin Coleman. And Keon Hatcher fell on top of Coleman. Therefore, he wasn't down. Gets up and runs it in for the score.
Whirling on the field was a catch.
Yes, Walt.
Well, it was a catch, no question.
Rolling on the catch, and the receiver was knocked down by contact. It was a touchdown.
You have to touch the ground, and you can see Hatcher falls right on top of Coleman.
The only question there is going to be the left shin. What an unbelievably athletic play by the Arkansas Razorback is the left shin as he whips around here. Make contact with the ground there. That lower ankle left shin, I think, will be the consideration right there, because the elbows, the backside, everything else is clean.
That 15-yard penalty will be enforced on the kickoff. The previous play is under further review.
Now, the touchdown is under review, as all scoring plays are. There was a penalty thrown for unsportsmanlike conduct on the Raiders after the touchdown. The pause right now, though, is just to make sure that it's a score. And while they do that, American Family Insurance is going to bring you the rest of the first quarter with limited commercial interruptions. So stick around for a laugh with a few of our funniest Seattle Seahawks. Well, the question is, does Walt Anderson see enough to overturn this? It was called a touchdown, so you've got to see indisputable evidence.
I think that left shin brought a whole bunch of those rubber pellets up.
After review, the ruling on the field stands.
Oh.
It is a touchdown, and the 15-yard unsportsmanlike penalty will be enforced on the kickoff.
And you go back to the call. He says it stands, which means there wasn't enough that we could see to overturn it. Keep an eye on the left shin. I think that's where the question is.
Now they're going to say maybe it's still on the right foot there, and that maybe is inclusive. That's why it stays. And if it called the other way, it would have stood as well.
Right, whatever the call was, they were going to stick with it. Mike Nugent, 6th the extra point. So the Raiders get an interesting touchdown. Keon Hatcher with the first score of the game.
Maybe one of the first completions, and there's the explanation from Walt to Pete Carroll. I think he's going to say, I just could not see in a very clear way where Justin Coleman's foot was and whether or not Keon Hatcher's leg was still on top. That was one heck of an athletic play from Hatcher, I will tell you that. The body control. You know, we hear about body control a lot of times with receivers, and it's what they do on the sidelines or how they attack football up in the air and can keep their, you know, their feet in bounds and still do that. But you know, that also is unbelievable body control to be full speed, a defender torquing you to the, you know, with torque trying to pull you to the ground, and you stay on top of that defender going into the end zone. Big play for Keon Hatcher, who's really fighting as well. You know, I told you before the game for on the Seahawks side, there were David Moore, Marcus Johnson, receivers in this 4th preseason game all around the league are the ones that typically make a bunch of plays. Keon with a big one there for the Raiders.
45 yards on the touchdown, capped off an 89-yard drive. So the Raiders get on the board first. Then Mike Nugent set to kick it off. There's Grayson back deep. Former track star out of LSU. Another guy who's trying to make his presence felt to earn a roster spot as one of the backup wide receivers. One kick after the penalty. He starts from his own 10-yard line. With running room. Grayson will get the Seahawks excellent field position to start their drive. 36 yards on the return.
See why he was on the practice squad. Carroll has always coveted speed. Just watch the acceleration. Pretty unique. Take advantage of that good return and the quick score penalty that helps set it all up.
Starting from the 46. Here comes the blitz. Good pass. Caught by Demarius Stringfellow. Gain of 9 on the play.
On 3rd down, and it's just the snap around really both coordinators. Ryan Schottenheimer on the Seahawks side has so much of the West Coast principles in his playbook, and Mario Stringfellow's had a nice preseason. But very sure-handed throughout training camp. This is a deep, competitive wide receiver room.
And a big body. Davis lowering his head, trying to get that first down, but just shot.
Tight end package again against those Indianapolis Colts, who saw that run game. Just one fullback on this roster. We're ready to see these 3 tight ends, I think, early in this season.
Mike Davis alone in the backfield, gets the carry. Stops behind the line of scrimmage and tackled behind the line of scrimmage. Jerome Maloney would stop.
Former Cook making his presence known here with a couple different tackles. Good look there at Paul Gunther, the defensive coordinator. Anytime you get into those 3rd and 1, those 4th and 1, and that running back has to stop his feet in the backfield, you have an opportunity to clean it up as Luwani did there.
Seahawks going to go for it on 4th down. Lost a yard on the play, so now it's 4th and 2. Austin Davis, the quarterback. Mike Davis in the backfield.
Cadence.
2 tight ends to the left. To go Brown. play can even get started. So the Seahawks will turn it over on downs. Well, he started with great field position, but didn't capitalize. So it stays 7-0 right now as we check in with our Community Minute presented by American Family Insurance. Seahawks football is presented by Washington's Lottery. Play Seahawks Scratch from Washington's Lottery and you can win 50 grand. All you have to do is visit WALottery.com for details. Inside the final 2 minutes of this opening quarter of the preseason finale, Raiders on top of Seahawks 7-0. 45-yard touchdown reception by Keon Hatcher. The last time Oakland touched the ball, Seahawks weren't able to answer.
I'll tell you, one of the big keys on that play as well was E.J. Manuel put it right on the dot. And you're going to run this West Coast system, and I said to you earlier how demanding John Gruden is on his quarterbacks. And that goes way back to the days of Bill Walsh. It's not just about a completion, it is putting that ball right in the right spot and allowing Keon Hatcher to catch that in-breaking route so he can be on the move and get into a position where he can do something dynamic athletically and finish it. You're going to see that all season long with John Gruden, and not necessarily with E.J. Manuel, but he will be very demanding on Derek Carr, his senior Carr.
Good starting field position for the Raiders. From the 47. And again to the air. Wide open, Keon Hatcher again. Mike Tyson, along with Austin Calitro on the stop, and 21 more for Hatcher.
That's, again, just trying to take advantage of very active linebackers. Watch those Seahawks defenders come in on that run fake. It's just a zone beater there. The out-breaking route right in front of the safety, Tyson. And when you get that action, when you get those linebackers flying to the line of scrimmage, it gives you the opportunity in that window to put the ball right over the top of it.
All the way down to the Seahawk 32. Just one. From the backfield, Shaquem Griffin stops him before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. Ward fell forward for a yard, but another good play by the rookie.
A little bit like that Mike Davis 3rd and 1. You stop your feet in the backfield. These linebackers, it was Lawani on the other side, but Shaquem, man, he runs like a safety. Lawani, the safety for the Raiders, made that 3rd down and 1 stop. You get flat-footed back there, 230 pounds. If Shaquem's running at you with that 4.4 speed, he will close that gap in a hurry.
Here comes the pressure. Manuel gets it off. Hatcher wrapped up by Mike Tyson right away.
I'll tell you what, and right there is 49 again. That's now 5 different tackles that he has been a part of, and eyes were right on him, knowing that E.J. Manuel is going to try to, and John Gruden could feel that, Greg Olson, his coordinator, on that opening drive, how active these guys and these young players are going to be. The amount of just ground that Shaquem can cover is simply remarkable.
Really good first quarter for Griffin. And other than that one spectacular touchdown, a good first quarter for the Seahawks defense. When they go into the second quarter trailing 7-0 as American Family Insurance brings you a look at some of the Seahawks' furry best friends. Well, tonight's first quarter was brought to you with limited interruptions by American Family Insurance. Dream fearlessly, fan fearlessly.
Good little look here now on 3rd and 9 to begin the second quarter of play. Oakland 3 and out on their opening series. Big touchdown pass to Keon Hatcher, a phenomenal play. And I like these 3rd and 9s. This is a situation where you're going to watch Jacob Martin and Barkevius Mingo. This are the rushers you want. Now, it'll be against the number 2s of Oakland, but it really doesn't matter. It's about what you do and your rush and your effort. Jacob's had a nice preseason. He's going to be a part of that nickel pass rush here in 10 days when his team heads to Denver. The story of a lot of this preseason has been a draft class that has put up an awful lot of production here in the preseason games.
Here we have. Let's see what they can do here on 3rd down. Seahawks still in pressure. They back off. Manuel brings it down, looking, and sacked. Austin Calitro came out of nowhere to wrap up Manuel.
Those are the plays right there for the veteran Manuel. You try to just throw that thing away. And make that field goal a little longer. Good rush there by the two outside ends we highlighted. Here come these two linebackers. If it's not Calitro, it's going to be Shaquem. Those two get up together and been really active in this first half. Villanova linebacker with the sack.
51-yard field. Puts it through, and the Raiders extend their lead to 10. But it could have been a lot worse. Some aggressive play by the young Seahawk linebackers held open to a field goal. There's a look at Austin Calitro. Made the drive with a stop, holding open to a field goal. He's not a rookie, but he hasn't played much football. Was in camp with the 49ers last year out of Villanova, and then spent the year on the practice squad with the Cleveland Browns.
Now look at today's linebacker. That's what a lot of them look like. 235, run sideline to sideline, and play a critical role in this phase of the game now. Enjoyed sitting with Brian Schneider, the special teams coordinator, yesterday, talking about this kickoff situation and what they've learned this preseason. It's already what they knew. A lot more one-on-one blocks. You've got to have a lot more athletes on the field.
Grayson returned the last punt, 35 yards, took his kickoff out of his end zone, and going to be stopped at the 19. Azim Victor, former Husky, with the tackle. Austin Davis still in at quarterback for the Seahawks. We suspect, and this is just our guess, he played about a half, and then we see the rookie Alex Magoo. You see his numbers so far, 6 of 8.
Not surprised to see him efficient, take care of the football, and unfortunately for him, a brilliant play keeping the play alive. Called back the touchdown did on the holding call.
Has time, going up top. Has cut it on the sideline, and there it goes. Showing the speed. Demario Stringfellow, 81 yards for the Seahawks touchdown.
Fourth go route we've seen. One of them was a back shoulder. Two of them were against cover 2. This one is just against some man coverage on the outside in a one-on-one, and you just can't put it any better. Much like Keon Hatcher's touchdown reception was a catch and run. That is just outside the fingertips of Rayshon Pringle and Mr. Stringfellow. Not a better feeling in the building. When you beat that corner, you give your quarterback an opportunity to put it out in front of you. You look at nothing but green grass on the way to your first touchdown as a Seahawk.
And this time there are no flags to call this one back. Longest touchdown of the preseason for the Seahawks. 81 yards on the score. Sebastian Janikowski. Misses the point after. One of the most reliable kickers in NFL history. Can't convert the point after attempt, but the touchdown still stands. Good job by the young fellow, Stringfellow. 81 yards, and now it's a 10-6 ball game. Austin Stringfellow with the 81-yard score. Trying to prove that he belongs here with his team, but maybe someone should remind guys the preseason celebrations need work too. Jaron Reed, I think you lost something.
Careful in the preseason, man. These veterans are usually playing. They're not holding the water cups on the sideline. The excitement. We've seen that in so many of these preseasons. The culture that Pete really builds here is everybody gets involved, man. Everybody is a part of it. And really rooting on your teammates. You know, Tom Moore, the old offensive coordinator at Indianapolis, said, my job is to get you a one-on-one, and your job is to win it. And Demario Stringfellow, he got his one-on-one opportunity, and boy, did he ever win it on a perfectly thrown pass.
Another guy who bounced around the league, couple practice squads last season. You know, we focus so much on guys trying to make the team that they're playing for in this final preseason game, but you know, with all the roster moves that have to happen between now and 1 o'clock on Saturday, they're playing for the entire league. Trying to show that whether they make it here, good. If not, do they belong somewhere else?
No question.
Here's Chris Warren on the first down. Akeem King was there to meet him at the line of scrimmage. Stands him up.
Chris Warren's Dad was a really good running back here in Seattle for a long time, but he didn't weigh 245 pounds. You can see the three Seahawks right there. It takes all of them. You got a big back, and John Gruden and Greg Olson, coordinator, have told running backs, painted a picture here that if you come here as a young guy and you prove it, you're going to get ample opportunity. That's over 50 carries now this preseason for Warren.
DJ Manuel was second down to Warren out of the backfield. Marquise Mingo, the first guy to get there. Dante Johnson eventually forced him out of bounds. Make that a King.
Marquise has given up probably 15 to 20 pounds. He is lean, and speed has been the theme of this defense. Every single one of those linebackers, secondary players, can run. And frankly, now you put Jacob Martin and Mingo on the end there in different situations. Ken Norton's got a lot of speed to work with.
Looks like he may have stopped him before he got the first down.
That right there is that closing speed. You could see that coming the entire way. And this is exactly what Minnesota did a week ago. Got out on the edges, throwing to their backs on multiple occasions, and Shaquem sees it right away. He's got some ground that he's got to close. Again, he's probably given up 15 pounds. He's clearly out of bounds. I think that is a good spot. It's going to come up short. When we talked in the open, he's my player to watch, because this is really an audition for 10 days from now in Denver as well. KJ Wright will be working to get back from his knee scope to start that game. But no better mentor and teacher for Shaquem in those meetings than KJ, and Wright's got to be liking what he's seeing.
Here's David Moore making a fair catch, but what a start to this game. We're 3 minutes into the second quarter. Shaquem Griffin's already had 6 tackles. When we come back, the Seahawks offense will take over. Mike Davis and company will try and get the ball rolling and see if they can get Seattle the lead. Seahawks football is presented by Washington's Lottery and Seahawks Scratch. Win a trip to the Seahawks game at Arizona and take your loud on the road. Visit WALottery.com for all of the details.
I know one thing, the game plan tonight is to be aggressive. Once Davis gets one-on-one situations, he's going to chuck it.
And they go off the play fake. He's looking to go deep again. Does so. Down the right side. Caught. Cyril Grayson. Another double-digit gain for this Seahawk offense as they just keep pushing and pushing and pushing. And this time, they pick up 25.
And we have seen that play run every single game in this preseason. That deep play action pass. You got a deep corner, you've got an over route. That is all Austin, in the awareness to buy time here, knowing that he's got Grayson working all the way across the field. And if he scrambles, he puts it right on the spot, you could still beat that coverage off the screen. But well done.
Into Raider territory. Close on the handoff. Can't go back to the line of scrimmage. Stopped by Gabe Wright.
You're watching both front sevens here, and it's not a surprise when you've got young players. D linemen and linebackers want to make the team. They are going to be incredibly active, and that is why both sides have had some success in the play-action game. Because that front is going to be committed to stopping the run first and foremost. And for that, Browns, a nice job, good look there, Tom Cable. A hard time getting that zone run game going tonight as well because of the activity of the front seven of the Seahawks.
Now the offensive line coach for the Raiders. Davis up top again. Here's the back run. He's just shy of the 45-yard line. And this is the best we've seen Austin Davis play all preseason long.
And it does not surprise me at all. He's got nothing to lose. But I think a lot of times you kind of get bound up every once in a while, like thinking about, well, what's the situation? And Austin told me before the season that he's let a lot of that go in his years in this league. He's bounced around this league in different spots. He is just going to relish the opportunities. Obviously, with Brett Hundley traded, I think Austin can see the writing on the wall, and he's getting this opportunity to show the rest of the league what he's capable of doing. It's a strong showing.
Try and convert another third down here. Alone in the backfield. about a yard short, looks like where they might. Seahawks go for it.
They are. We have seen a 3rd and 1 get stopped. So the penetration in the backfield. You then went to a man-beater concept, a little rubber out on 4th down. Big fella's coming in here. This is either run or heavy play action pass.
Precise deep in the backfield. Cyril Grayson, the intended receiver. He was covered, though. So maybe a good thing that ball didn't stay up. Seahawks turn it over on downs again. The defense will come back out and see if they can't keep it right where it is. (10-6) Raiders on top. Just over 9 minutes left to go in this preseason finale's first half, and the Western Washington Toyota dealers are sending one lucky 12 home with this Seahawks Tundra. 6 lucky contestants will be chosen to attend the December 2nd game against San Francisco on the Toyota fan deck, and one of them will walk away with a brand new 2018 Toyota Crew Cab Seahawks Tundra. Visit Seahawks.com/Tundra giveaway for contest rules and details.
I can see you rolling into the Fox lot with that.
I'd drive it up and down the coast if it looked like that.
Terry would like that.
It's a nice ride. Raiders from the 3. PJ Manuel up top right away. Keon Hatcher flags go flying as he was hand fighting back and forth. Trevon Reed. And you can see Reed saying, "My bad."
That's how the feet get tangled up earlier in non-call. This obvious.
Pass interference, number 34. Defense. First down.
Walt's getting more definitive with the penalties, each and every one of them.
That's a 24-yard penalty on Trevon Reed. Let's go down the sideline. Chris Carson, the starting running back for the Seahawks, joins us. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, appreciate you having me.
All right, you know, we talked to you at the beginning of the preseason. You said you just wanted to kind of get going after the injury last season. Do you feel that you're back to where you were or even better?
Yeah, I feel like I'm back to where I was last year. It's taking me a little while to get, the hang of things for the most part, but, working every day, each and every week, I feel like I'm getting back.
My goodness, and you're watching Shaquem Griffin with now his 7th tackle, Chris. Hey, how would you sum up your preseason?
It's been all right. It's the things I can work on. I know just trying to get my feet wet for the most part, just getting like I said, getting back in the hang of things. So, for the most part, I feel like I did pretty good.
Do you like the more extensive run game and playbook in that run game?
Yeah, I like it a lot. It's a lot different than what it was last year. It allows us to get downhill, versus last year it was kind of more wide, inside zone. We got a lot more power schemes and traps.
And also see you going out and catching passes here. As Chris Warren gets stopped on the tackle there. And you know what? We talked about all the young guys on this team and how well they're playing. You're kind of the old guy in the running back room in only your 2nd year. But the infusion of youth with this squad this year, it seems to really change the energy around here.
Yeah, like you said, I had to take on a leadership role this year. Coach told me, so I kind of embraced that. But the juice is there. Each and every day at practice, everybody's so young and flying around. It makes competition so much more fun than what it was last year.
Coach, we appreciate you taking the time to join us. Good luck, stay healthy this season. All right, Seahawks defense coming on a big 3rd down. Pass underneath. Caught by Saeed Blacknell. Austin Calitro stops him before he can even get back to the marker.
Man, you think these linebackers are having any fun tonight? I think that's been the theme of this game. Cabinda on the other side. The Nittany Lion has been so active for the Raiders. Griffin, Calitro have been flying. Calitro the sack earlier, and they love that, man. 3rd down in extra long situations. They're sitting back in zone. They're reading the eyes. And much like KJ Wright last week, got to tee off on that shallow cross and underneath route. That's what those linebackers work on. Ken Norton drills those guys to get into their drop, keep everything in front of you, and then you just go unload.
And the Raiders going to go for it on 4th down. Or maybe not. We'll see if Manuel is trying to draw Seattle offside. Takes the timeout. trying to get him just a little bit closer for a field goal attempt.
And here's some of the roar of the crowd, and even Shaquem Griffin raising his arms up. So take a good look at Ken Norton. How cool was that story yesterday that he shared when he was sent home by George O'Leary there in Central Florida, and he went to work for his dad, working 2 jobs. Dad's in the tow truck business, so he would spend 10 hours a day in the tow, get paid per car. He'd train for an hour with the track team.
$5 per car. It wasn't getting rich.
And I don't know, just the way he told that story is the one car in particular whose wheel got caught in the mud puddle. And he called his dad and said, I can't get it. And his dad's like, what? So I can't, it's in the mud puddle. And the tire's deep in, I can't get it. And his dad said, well, get in the mud puddle. And he got in that mud puddle, he dug deep, he put that cable on, he towed that car out. And at that point he realized, I gotta get back to what I love, man. I gotta get back to playing football and appreciating it that much more.
And he did, and he's showing he can play at this level, no question. Movement early. They may not have gotten snap off on time either.
Delay of game, offense, 5-yard penalty. Still close.
You can see Chucky faces out. He's like, what are you doing?
Those are the things that just drive him crazy.
Well, especially from a veteran quarterback.
Yep. I mean, those are that we saw earlier, about 4 yards. It didn't matter. We still made the field goal, but just throw it away. Just save those yards. And in that situation, you have got to. John Gruden, Greg Olson's coordinator, you have got to see that play clock. You play too much football if you're E.J. Manuel. You've been in this league too long. You just have to have an awareness of that, because that penalty now takes away the opportunity to score points.
So instead of having a chance to go for it on 4th down now, brings up a punting situation. Their rookie Johnny Townsend back to kick it to David Moore, standing inside his 5-yard line. Kick. Takes a bounce. Good job by the coverage there for the Raiders. Johnny Holton swats it out of bounds inside the 5-yard line. If you want to make sure that you're part of everything that happens here at Century Link this season, well, there's still single game tickets available for the upcoming season. So all you got to do is hop online, go to Seahawks.com/tickets. There's more information. You can pick and choose your game. You can come and hang out with Rock as much as you want. We meet him at the tailgate, then escort him into the stadium.
I don't know if I told you. That's what I did in this building last Saturday.
What did you do?
Well, Eddie Sheeran came here with about 55,000 and rocked this place.
Did your wife sit on your lap?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
Nope, did not do that. But it rocked in here, and much like the false start earlier, delay game right there. This place is rocking, man. There is nobody better party in town than in Century Link Field watching the Seahawks.
Well, this is not the start you want. Willie Beaver's jumping way early.
Ball starts, number 66, offense, half the distance to the goal. Still 1st down.
The only thing is you're in a deep hole. It's slightly deeper.
Yeah, but Willie Beaver's nose, as active as this front is for Oakland, much like the Seahawks have totally stuffed the run Pete Carroll's Hawks have of the Raiders, these guys are just teeing off on the snap. And I think both quarterbacks got to use a little bit of a hard count. That was not a hard count. That was Beaver simply trying to get off the ball. This would not be a bad time to really use your cadence. Use some of that aggressiveness against the opponent.
Just across the 1-yard line. Mike Davis through a hole. Fights his way out to the 9. A good pickup on 1st down of 7 yards. He was that close to getting away.
Mike has had a very nice training camp. This was a deep running back room. You heard from Chris Carson right there. Once again, pad level not an issue for Mike Davis. That full speed cut is what Penny does so well right there. Just a beautiful cut. Luani is left just reaching for air.
Davis missing practice time this camp with a sore toe, but it's certainly bounced back tonight. High snap into the end zone. Davis scoops it up. Wisely gets rid of it, saved the safety. Smart play by the veteran quarterback.
You can see right there, just trying to calm everybody down. We're okay. You're all right. You don't see a lot of that out of Joey Hunt. He is really secure. He made a living doing that at TCU in that shotgun. But once again, you get to this area of the field, everything just speeds up. You saw Beavers with the false start right there. The linebackers come up in the gap, and you know, like the red zone thing speed up, also coming out of your own goal line.
And this is where you get to the point of the preseason, obviously the final game. Young rookies that are on the bubble trying to prove that they belong, trying to make a play. Sometimes you do too much. There are the whistles before the snap.
Delay of game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Half the distance to the goal. Correction. Third down.
We've seen this from two experienced quarterbacks. Taking delay of game situations you just can't.
Yeah, and that one a little different, right? I mean, that one he scrambled, he's throwing away, that play clock gets going, you're trying to hurry up, and the Raiders are doing a little bit of what Minnesota did a week ago. You're getting these linebackers right up into the gaps. Look at them. They're all to line of scrimmage, trying to force the line calls, trying to make it more difficult in your protection.
Davis from his end zone. Can't conclude it to Stringfellow. This is one of those series that probably just needs to end.
Yes.
You know?
I think you call that discombobulated.
Yeah. A couple of penalties, bad snap. Every now and then you're like, okay, let's just punt and get it going again. And this gives Dixon plenty of room. You've seen his leg, what he can do, distance, hang time, net. Right now he can take advantage of all of it from the back of his end zone. You mentioned earlier, his punting average, his net, his hang time, all would have led the league in the regular season last year. This kid's special. Keon Hatton will return with another big booming punt from Dixon. 54 yards, 14 on the return.
But it's the 4.85 hang time. I mean, that is what factors it in. And unfortunately, him make the tackle right down there as he pins him. So it's hit 50 plus. It's nearly a 5-second hang time. And oh, by the way, it's directional. Oh, it is pinning that returner right on the sidelines. And it's just a, as you said it's special. It's a game changer. Flipping the field is so critical at this level in this game. And he's got the opportunity to do it.
Well, it helps your defense out tremendously as you go through the season.
Hidden yards.
First down from the Seahawks 45. Manuel looking to Johnny Holton. That one's incomplete. Keith King running with him stride for stride. King in a battle for one of those cornerback spots. He's played well tonight. Has played well in spots throughout the preseason.
Not a surprise to see the Seahawks make a commitment to those corners. Dante Johnson and Trey Flowers and Akeem King, Coleman and Griffin.
There's Chris Warren cutting it back. What about 3 Seahawks right there to beat him as soon as he did? Markevius Mingo, Austin Calitro, Quentin Jefferson. All of them snuffed that one out. So it brings up another third down for the Raiders. 3 of 7 so far in this game. Crowd gets loud. Good pass. Caught Keon Hatcher. First down Raiders. Right in front of Justin Coleman.
That's that same route, that little in cut right there. That is all timing and precision. Just a bang-bang play there, and EJ's very comfortable with that. I'll tell you the one thing about EJ Manuel. 2 of the guys he's had, Jimbo Fisher will undress you when you play that position. We saw John Gruden earlier. You better develop some Teflon. He's done that, I think, over the course of his career, and this is an important drive for him to respond.
8-yard gain to the 34. Here comes the pressure. Manuel gets rid of it. Pass caught. Saeed Blacknall. Dante Johnson, the first Seahawk there to wrap him up. Give him 8 yards.
I'll tell you the one thing you would like to see if you're the Seahawks, if you're Kenny Norton here, over the last 33 plus minutes of football, you'd like to get a takeaway. That was the one thing, coordinating the Raiders defense the last couple of years and looking at it. Just 5 picks a season ago in Oakland, and some real struggles in their secondary over these 33 minutes. As you lead into the regular season, you would sure love a fumble, a pick, some game-changing plays defensively.
Good pass, Marcel Aikman, and he's wrapped up. Been a busy night, busy quarter for Dante Johnson, and he's answered every time.
Keep everything in front of you, right? And that is the theme of this defense. Good look there, Rasheem Green, been one of the most active Seahawks this preseason. Right there behind Shaquem Griffin, tackles. Quarterback Curry, 7 of them coming into this preseason game. Poodle, Nas, takeaway start with that group up front. Causing some pressure, making quarterbacks uneasy.
First down, Chris Warren. Brandon Jackson met him on the short pickup of about a yard on the play.
Throwing another half tackle for Shaquem. I knew this would be a Shaquem Griffin kind of game. A zone blocking scheme, Tom Cable, Oakland, they're going to keep it pretty vanilla, pretty simple in the preseason. They've done that all preseason long for EJ. And you're going to eventually see Connor Cook as well. Just a game for Shaquem to fly around.
Over the middle, caught into the end zone, touchdown Hatcher. His second of the night. This one for 19 yards.
That's a response by EJ Manuel right there. I'm sure he was disappointed himself. Took points off the board on that delay of game. But a young veteran in the game, he likes these in cuts. We saw a slant route earlier. This is zone coverage. That throw has to be right behind the nickel corner, Justin Coleman, and right in front of the safety, Jerome. That is put, once again, as a catch and run ball. That is why it's another 6 for Oakland.
This has been Keon Hatcher's night as well. Extra point good by Mike Nugent. And the Raiders extend their lead by another 7. You can dance like that, you score a couple times.
Keon's a good player. I saw him in college at Arkansas. He's battled some injuries there. But that is all about timing. When you get into those zone windows here, right down in the 20-yard plus, EJ loves it. That's his second touch. There's a game for EJ Manuel. A lot of conversation about whether or not he's going to make this team and whether the backup Oakland quarterback is indeed on this roster. I'm sure there's a couple negatives in the delay game and maybe the sack, but as far as giving guys an opportunity, that's all what Keon wants too. With these preseason games, receivers will come up to the quarterback and say, hey, chance. Just give me an opportunity. And while John Gruden will be hard on his quarterbacks and ride them, he will equally do this. See? Right back. Praise him. You just want that consistency. I know that this guy is going to be demanding and exacting on you, but I also know that when I do execute, he's seen it at the highest level.
Grayson takes it out of the end zone. Johnny Holton stopping the close to the 20-yard line. So 2 minutes, 11 seconds, and all 3 timeouts. Seahawks will get the ball back here towards the end of this first half.
First downs, right? You want to start a 2-minute drive, this situational football right here. You've got one thing on your mind. And that is to see those chains move the first time. That really establishes the tempo. Now you get the 2-minute warning here for Coach Carroll. That has got to be the mindset after a couple penalties, just a rocky last series. Put that behind, much like EJ Manuel did, and see those chains move.
Mike Davis shifts out to the slot. So Austin Davis alone in the backfield. Stepping up to Mike Davis. Dancing around. That'll take us to the 2-minute warning. He got 11 yards on the first down. So on the first play, you do move those chains. Seahawks will try to keep it moving and get on the scoreboard before we get to intermission. 2 minutes left.
Back here at CenturyLink Field in Seattle, where the Seahawks trail the Raiders 17-6 at the 2-minute warning. Aaron Levine alongside Dave Wyman. And Dave, despite Oakland's touchdowns in the first half, how about the first half defensively for Shaquem Griffin? He already had 7 tackles in this one.
Yeah, he's all over the field. And the thing is, if you have to start him next week for KJ Wright, this is going to make the coaches feel really good. I talked about turning your brain off. that just fly around and make plays, don't worry about mistakes, and that's what Shaquem Griffin has done.
We'll have more stats, analysis, and highlights coming up at the half, but for now, let's go back up to Kurt and Brian.
All right, here's Mike Davis on first down. Big run out to the 45-yard line. Gain of 16, and the chains keep moving.
Man, that quick hitting run game between the tackles has been very effective for the Seahawks all preseason long.
Even with the 3 timeouts, Seahawks go with a hurry-up offense. Here comes a late blitz. Tyrell Spooks with the catch. The gain of 9. Davis trying to line him up quickly.
Plenty of time. Play fast, but never, ever in a hurry. Especially when you got all of those timeouts in your pocket.
Drop right. Davis, first down. Inside the 44.
Seahawks take their first time out. This was that first run, that quick hitting action inside. We have seen it, that trap action, the penetration. Again, you can use your cadence to take advantage of an active defense, or you can run that play, that concept that gets the penetration up the field. You're getting to the second level with Jordan Roos. And then whether it was Ethan Posick so effectively or your backups come in and you give them a chance to hit that D lineman in the ear hole, and guess what happens to that penetration? It seems to slow down a little bit. Right? They got to think about that. And again, a concept we've not seen in large doses over the years. Davis, 5.5 yards a carry.
Getting checked out on the sideline. Been part of what has been an aggressive run attack for the Seahawks all preseason long, really. You mentioned in the pregame. Totally different philosophy. From the 44-yard line. Raiders had jumped, or got a jump early. Looks like Shalik Calhoun, that right defensive end.
Trying to get an edge there on Big George Fan, who's playing a little left tackle, a little right tackle, showing his versatility.
Offside, number 91. Defense, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Seahawks will take it.
Yeah, you had asked me, Kurt, what have been a couple of the pleasant surprises now as you look at this camp in totality. And yeah, George Fant coming off that ACL has been one of them, but it's been the run game. And just look at the contrast tonight with Oakland that has basically lived in their outside stretch zone, their inside zone. That concept all night long, not very effective, in the Seahawks once again showing some of the mix in their run game they have all preseason.
Davis stepping up. Pass caught by David Moore. Right near that first down marker. Looks like he got it. And the Seahawks keep the chains moving. 5 yards on the pickup. Down inside a minute. Here comes the blitz. Austin Davis over the middle, broke it up. Came close to being picked off. Shalik Calhoun brought the pressure and maybe made him throw it just a hair before he wanted to. For though Brown dropping all the way back into coverage, and I don't think Davis expected to see him.
Look at the hands on the hips, 255 pounds, and I had to carry that vertical route up the field because of that blitz look. A dropping defender, yeah, and that's what you ask those ends today. The versatility that you've got to have to not just rush the passer. At times it could be burdened to make the coverage play down the field. Well done.
Well done, big fella. Here comes pressure again. Davis fluffed out, throws on the run, and overthrows Keenan McReynolds.
Just a little slight miscommunication between two guys that have not gotten nearly the number of reps that you get with starters and the starters during the regular season right there. That is Russell sprinting and Doug knowing right where he's going to be. And that time, just a little bit, just a tiny bit of hesitation. Throw goes a little wide, and because of it now, 3rd and 10. And Oakland going to be pinning their ears back and rushing. And once again, getting in this look right here. And you get in this look and bring everybody up. Try to make life difficult with your protection calls.
This will be second charge timeout, Oakland. 30-second timeout.
It's interesting as you see John Gruden right there. I don't think if Russell's in the game, by the way, when you cross the 50, that they call that timeout.
Right. Well, he probably makes the connection on the last pass.
Well, he does, but Russell loves, and Doug, they love that 2-minute drill, because once you get a defense on their heels, oftentimes, you take the timeout, and I think you've seen it a little bit here with Oakland. Now, when you got backups in, as the Seahawks do, you want to get everybody on the right page. And while they practice it every single day, an awful lot here during training camp, there's just a comfort level that Russell has. It struck me last week when we were in the meeting. I talked to Russ in the third quarter. And he said it. He goes, one of the things I love about Shotty is he likes to play, like I do, up-tempo. And I don't think they'd have burned that timeout. Would have kept it in their back pocket, even if the clock dwindled down, just to keep the pressure on that defense.
Davis. Over the middle. Tyrone Smoots. The converted quarterback, now a tight end, making the catch for 16 yards.
This is the second.
Use their second timeout.
Charge timeout, Seattle. 30-second timeout.
Ball's now at the 17-yard line.
And again, right here, I'm just envisioning, the Seahawks heading in against the Texans. I don't think they take a timeout here again, but a beautiful job by Austin. We've seen this tonight. When he's stepping up in the pocket, he's not getting flushed. When the ball gets snapped over his head, he's not going to panic. And while he would love that ball a foot in front of him, he loves getting the 3rd and 10 conversion to keep this 2-minute drive alive. But so many of these games, you see it every week sitting in your studio, Kurt, how many times they come down to the 2-minute drives at the end of the game. And those guys that love the ball in their hands, like Aaron Rodgers, got nice money, Russell, really good numbers here on this drive once again for Austin.
Goes to the air. Second pass to the drive towards the end zone. Incomplete. No flag. Now there's a flag that comes out. David Moore.
Number 35, defense. Foul occurred in the end zone. First to go with the 1.
Called on Cerise Wright. Took him a while to throw this.
A lot of contact there, and the penalty is going to be because in the judgment of that back judge official, he's going to say Cerise did not give David the opportunity to go up and get the ball. You could hand fight, but once you impede that receiver's opportunity, you're going to put the ball at the 1-yard line.
16 yards on the penalty. Mike Davis, easy touchdown.
That's another rushing touchdown. It's the one rushing touchdown all regular season last year from a running back, and that was J.D. McKissick. Saw Carson last week with a rushing touchdown and a really good push at the point of attack. And Mike Davis the opportunity to stroll in untouched.
Seahawks took the ball with 2 minutes and 11 seconds left. Drove it perfectly down the field, aided by that 16-yard pass interference penalty in the end zone, but it set up a 1-yard score for Mike Davis, and that's how you run the 2-minute drill.
Yeah, that one is just your inside zone variety right there. There's nothing special. There's no trap. There's no power. That is some of the traditional, conventional football we've seen in the run game over the last couple years. And this was the pass interference that set it all up. Austin's going to be aggressive. He's going to give his receivers an opportunity. And Cerise Wright, the veteran corner there, brought over from Buffalo. And the judgment of the officials, and I don't know, that's a judgment call.
Well, initially they let it go, and one of the other officials talked them into throwing the flag.
Probably saw some of the hand contact and just felt like it impeded David's opportunity to go get it. And it won't show up anywhere for David Moore on the stat sheet, but that penalty, the ball at the 1-yard line, the Seahawks finish it off, pay off. Excellent 2-minute drive.
Part of it is just getting snaps, but Austin Davis has really looked the best he had all preseason, whether he's playing for someone else, whether he's looking to show the coaching staff here, hey, you trade for Brent Hundley, but don't forget about me. Whatever the reason, he's responded tonight.
I'm going to play it out. Double up those stats from the first half. 26 to 40, nearly 400 yards passing, a couple touchdowns. 13 to 20, 194 and a touchdown for Austin in that first half. and that does not surprise me at all. He's been nothing but a competitor his entire career, no matter where he's bounced around. You know, you can see it right there. Whether he's going to have another opportunity to put on a Seahawk uniform, you don't know. I think the second half will probably be for Alex Magoo. That first half was for Austin Davis, and there sure was an awful lot of productivity.
Williams going to take a knee and end this first half. Been an entertaining one. Seahawks have responded with a couple of touchdowns, a big 81-yarder from Austin Davis to DeMaurier Stringfellow, and then seconds ago, the 1-yard touchdown run from Mike Davis, as Austin Davis has had a productive first half. He can smile going in the locker room, even though his team is down 17-13 at the break of this last game of the preseason. Aaron and Dave on the other side with a halftime show.
Back here at CenturyLink Field in Seattle, where the Seahawks trail the Oakland Raiders 17-13 at the half. Aaron Levine alongside Dave Wyman. Dave, nice to see the end of the half there. A couple of touchdown drives led by Austin Davis in that first half.
Yeah, Austin Davis putting some tape on out there for maybe other teams. But he's making it tough for the Seahawks right now with Hundley coming in here. But, you know, I was glad to see them recover in the second part of the first half, because this is the third time they've had a touchdown in the preseason called back because of penalty. Jerron Brown had a beautiful catch, and that one came back because of a holding call. So they got things right and were able to get some points on the board.
4 total touchdown drives in the first half, 2 by each team. This one you see E.J. Manuel connecting with Keon Hatcher. A lot of people thought he was down there, but he was ruled up.
Well, I like to say it's a rookie mistake, but it's Justin Coleman there. But, you know, he did his best there. Just the guys around there that, you know, young guys that got to get him on the ground.
And how about DeMaurier Stringfellow? In fact, this isn't his most impressive preseason touchdown. He scored a 99-yard touchdown in the preseason last year for Miami.
Yeah, and this one's 81 yards, and he's going to make it tough. Again, these players are going to make it tough on the scouts and John Schneider and Pete Carroll to cut him. And Stringfellow's a guy who's in the mix, definitely.
And the Raiders come back with another touchdown pass to Keon Hatcher. He's having quite the first half.
Yeah, I was going to say, number 14 for Oakland, that guy's having the kind of dream night that you want in the 4th preseason game.
And then the 2-minute drill, under 2 minutes here. Austin Davis leading him down the field for another touchdown.
Yep, Davis to Davis there, and really good, efficient drive by Austin Davis. He's able to move around, finds Tyrone Swoops, and then, you know, you get a looked like a PI call there against David Moore, who I think has made this team. So now you're down in there, and Mike Davis does just walk right in.
Nice to see the touchdown at the end of the half by Mike Davis. We're going to have much more stats and analysis after these words from your local news.
Has time. Going up top. Pass caught along the sideline, and there he goes. Showing the speed. 81 yards for the Seahawks touchdown.
Just a gorgeous summer night in Seattle, Washington, as we welcome you back to CenturyLink Field. The Seahawks trailing the Oakland Raiders 17-13 at the half. And Dave, as we take a look at the stats from the first half, the Seahawks with 244 total yards, 12 first downs, twice as many as Oakland.
Yeah, and the thing I like is the one that's highlighted right there. Yards per rush, 4.1 for the Seahawks. And you can see the Seahawk defense doing their job as far as stopping the run. Haven't stopped the pass too well, though. E.J. Manuel's 13 for 15, couple hundred yards. He's throwing the ball all over the place. A couple touchdowns for him as well. But pretty good job by, you want to see the running game there. And then, you know, some of the younger guys on defense have been very active.
Yeah, how about those defensive guys, the linebackers specifically?
Yeah, specifically I would go Shaquem Griffin and Austin Calitro, 2 guys that really stood out. I think Austin Calitro has made this team, Aaron. I mean, and not just based on this performance, but he had a big hit last week. They've liked him all camp. Ken Norton Jr. mentioned him to us in a meeting, so really good news for him. Second-year guy out of Villanova, smart guy. And then Shaquem, like I said, it's a 2-minute warning. If you're going to have to start him for KJ Wright next week, which is looking likely against the Denver Broncos, Guys making plays all over the place.
We're going to have a lot to break down coming up after this game as they get set to break down the final 53-man roster this Saturday. But with the second half of this game, let's go back up to Kurt and Brock.
All right, we'll get you ready for the final half of the preseason. Nice jacket, by the way.
Yeah, you too.
I just noticed that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It takes a while sometimes, I guess. First half,
I mean, we've only done this for 5 years. You think we'd have a little better continuity in the final game, but it's the way it
never
goes.
know. Well, let's just have some fun here with the rest of the game. Like Shaquem Griffin and this linebacking crew's really had this first half.
Look at him. He wants to play all game. I can promise you that. And I would also point out what Dave Wyman was just talking about is you see he's adding to his totals. Now 25 in the preseason in limited opportunities. Stopping the run is a big part of it. Averaging over 4 yards a carry were the Seahawks running the football in that first half as well. No turnovers. I'd love to see a takeaway here. I think you find a takeaway or two, you're going to come out of this game with a victory, your first of the preseason. Probably the next step. But a lot of good stuff at the line of scrimmage again for the Seahawks.
And the Seahawks get the ball to start the second half. Waiting to get this thing going. Keenan Reynolds standing back there. Try to show what he can do. Getting a chance to return.
He does, and I guarantee you his message there at halftime was, let's find a way to finish this one out. Let's find a way to finish this game at home and get yourself a victory. Keep doing a lot of things you're doing. 4 of 8 on third down, running the ball better. Find a way to finish.
Here's Reynolds out of the end zone. With room. Flags come flying as he's brought down right at the 25-yard line by Isaac Whitney, but see what the laundry is about. Busy first half for Walt Anderson.
During the return, holding number 10, receiving team, half the distance to the goal. First down.
That's on Caleb Scott. So to back the Seahawks up a little bit. Alex Magoo will get a chance to try and match what Austin Davis did. And Davis had a really good first half.
I think got to have the same mindset that Austin did, and that was just to cut it loose. You got nothing to lose here. Want to keep gaining the trust of Brian Schottenheimer, Pete Carroll, of the rest of these offensive guys. I would expect the plan to be very similar. To be aggressive, to keep pushing that ball down the field. Austin with 4 or 5 go routes. A couple of them leading to big plays, and the long touchdown to Stringfellow. It was a very similar play in the final 30 minutes.
Magoo, the 7th-round pick out of Florida International, starting at his 9-yard line. And to the air right away. Bad pass underneath, incomplete. Jerome Holmes, the intended receiver, out of the backfield.
Yeah, and he knows it right away. You know, it's just one of those situations that you're looking to push that ball down the field. Magoo has done a nice job of checking the ball down. We have seen that in every preseason game. He's got an awareness of where everybody is on the field. He's played a lot of football through high school, the 7-on-7 world, where he actually played with the Griffin brothers.
He's a 4-year starter in college. You wonder sometimes if you can't be too calm. Try to calm yourself down. A bit too relaxed. Didn't complete that first pass. Time to hand it off. His first carry as a Seahawk. Gets it out to the 20-yard line. Gain of 11 and a first down.
And Thiem continues to running the ball. The Raiders 10 rushes for 12 yards in that entire first half. Nice job by Holmes. Very productive at Michigan State. We've not seen a lot of him in the preseason. Had a concussion early in camp, but a nice job of staying square, shoulders north and south, picking up 12.
And he gets it on the draw play. Short pickup.
You'll see off that action, you're going to see play action pass. You're going to see Magoo keep that ball, which he's done on a couple of occasions and run it. And Schottenheimer is going to continue to learn Alex Magoo and what he does well. And I think we felt it a little bit last week. He really produced in Minnesota out on the move. He, like Russell, likes to be active at point guard on the fast break.
Off the play fake. Up top. Open. Malik Turner. And Turner all the way to the 48-yard line, down 11. Finally stopped him, but only after a gain of 25.
Those two hooked up down there in Los Angeles as well on the touchdown. And Magoo's also got a strong arm. I think you look at the difference even there between he and Austin Davis. That deep play action pass, that over route that takes a long time. You got the corner behind it. The over comes in front of it. And we saw that from Magoo last week. He threw some darts late in that game in Minnesota. That is a beautiful pass. Chunk play down the field.
Throws that one away.
Because you sit and you're a Seahawks fan and you watch this, you continue to learn about this young quarterback who I think is an excellent opportunity to be on this practice squad for Pete Carroll. You know, they've kept two quarterbacks. They've kept a quarterback on the practice squad. But it's also an indicator of what you will see in 10 days. Right, a lot of this playbook and a lot of, and I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed the diversity of run. I've liked the deep play action pass. Man, do I ever love those shots and taking those shots down the field. It's going to be a lot of what number 3 will do in the regular season.
Quick pass by Magoo. Almost picked off. Lucky that one was not intercepted. Marvin Bracey was the intended receiver, and that ball bounced straight up in the air. Kyle Wilbur had a shot at it, but with all the bodies there, couldn't grab it.
Bracey is the speedster, a world-class speedster. Yeah, and I think that gravity had a lot to do with why that ball fell incomplete.
See Wilbur trying to watch his legs, trying to get up over guys, and couldn't quite do it.
I'll get into that position on the trampoline in the backyard every once in a while. It's dangerous.
Injured Seahawk down on the field right now. It's Isaiah Battle. He's been playing at tackle tonight. It's been a rough night for him. And you mentioned had an injury earlier in the preseason.
Yeah, he was banged up in that first game against Indianapolis. Just one of those friendly fire and people roll into your legs. And he's worked himself. He's worked really hard to get back on the field. I think some frustration in that first half. Good chat with Mike Solari this week before practice and talking to him about these big guys and the buy-in that they're all getting. You know, the college football world kicked off last weekend, but it really gets going today, and so many new programs, new coaches out here in the Pac-12 in particular. And you just want buy-in, right? And the best way to do it is to have success. And I'll tell you what, this offensive line is to see him favoring that arm. You feel it with this offensive line. They're buying in because they're finding success in Solari's techniques in that run game, what they're asking of them. And
another look. There's Jones from there. Hard to see what happened. He goes over the sideline with assistance. It'll be third down. Magoo steps away from the pressure. Going downfield for Bracey. Touchdown, Seahawks.
Wow, was that the throw of the preseason?
yards, Magoo to Bracey.
A little confusion there out on the edge. The unblocked defensive end. He throws that thing on the move from the 40-yard line. And here's a decision in his head. Do I take the shot? Why not? Take the shot deep down the field. That ball carries nearly 60 yards in the air as he is on the move. Mr. Mahomes, who at 68.8, the longest touchdown pass in the air in the NFL the last 2 years in the preseason. Almost 60.
Previous play is under further review.
And that was actually 8, not 87. Malik Turner. So I should give Turner the credit for the 52-yard score. It's under review. While we're away, they ruled that Malik Turner not only didn't score a touchdown, but that this is not a catch. Look again.
Yeah, it's not a touchdown. The ball clearly is never going to cross the plane. But is the right foot down? Does he establish possession right there? They judge no, but that second right foot obviously out. But when that right foot hit the first time, they ruled no possession yet. Only the left foot hit fell inbounds. So what looked like a touchdown, it got this place pretty juiced and energized. Some of the air comes out as it's not only the touchdown, it's actually the incompletion.
Allowed foul. Noisy strike. Dixon. Oh, has he had a touchback all season?
Oh, he's human.
Yeah. 52 yards and just a little too much on that one.
I will say this. He was directionally aimed to the right there, and that is where the returner actually was. That ball, so he can aim one way, and another unique thing he can do, aim one way, kick it another. Just not quite the backspin on that one, and Turner's saying, really? That close from being a Sports Center play tonight. You can see Brian Schneider right there talking to Pete Carroll about just the direction of that punt. As Dixon aimed right, ball goes left and just barely trickles into the end zone.
E.J. Manuel still in the quarterback for the Raiders. So is Chris Warren at tailback. And the son of the former Seahawk picks up 6.5 yards on first down. You talked about his dad and how special he was. He was the leading rusher in Seahawk history when he retired.
Watched a lot of his games growing up here in the Pacific Northwest, and he was just a glider. He was so smooth. He was a big back as well. He just wasn't quite 245 pounds. That 6-yard run, by the way, about half the total of the Raiders in the run game the entire first half.
The Seahawks run defense looked good in the first half as Manuel gets flushed out of the pocket. Ken Norton Jr. holds him up on the sideline there after Jacob Martin pushed him out. Of course, Norton coming back over as defensive coordinator this season has to be pleased with what he's seen really the last 2 games from the Seahawk defense.
They have flown around. I think some of the passing game tonight tighten up a few of those windows and getting off the field again, and some third downs where EJ's arm and timing and anticipation beat the coverage. Gotta find a takeaway. That's the next big step.
On third down, quick pass. That one broken up, intended for Marcel Aitman. So the Seahawks stop the Raiders and force a punt.
Yeah, and that is a run play. That's now the 3rd occasion we have seen EJ rise up. That is a run play with the option, not a run pass option per se, but that is total run action where everybody is running that short yardage run play. And EJ's judgment, he can pull that ball up and try to throw the quick slant. That time batted away, forcing the punt.
Another good series for Seattle's defense. Townsend's punt. Grayson still for the fair catch and makes it. 43 yards on that punt. We'll see if Alex Magoo can keep it in bounds this time and get the Seahawks some more points. Seahawks football is presented by Washington's Lottery. Play Seahawks Scratch from Washington's Lottery and you can win 50 grand. Visit WALottery.com for details. Rolling on in the 3rd quarter here, Alex Magoo's 2nd possession of the ball game. He's been up and down this preseason. He's shown flashes that make you believe this kid's got a future. Just hasn't been consistent, which you kind of expect out of a 7th-round draft pick. Off the play fake, shows the athleticism, and completes it along the sideline to Cyril Grayson. There are flags in the secondary.
Yeah, that's going to come back against Grayson, unfortunately, because I think Cyril extended his arms, which is what the back judge is
Pass
indicating.
interference, number 13, offense, 10-yard penalty, still first down.
The 8th penalty for the Seahawks, and many of them have been just significant again, either in special teams or taking a touchdown away. But you know, there's just certain indicators that these refs will look for at times. And does Cyril extend that left arm?
Wow.
Right?
Didn't look like it on that replay.
Well, that is what that back judge is going to see. You know, he's just looking for those indicators. It is a tough one. You usually play with a little more in the regular season.
McGough stepping and firing incomplete for Grayson. Then flag on the play. Right where the coverage was.
Pass interference, number 49, defense. First down at the spot of the foul.
Called on Antoine Davis.
You know, I've long documented my story of being the head linesman at Georgia spring game.
Oh, I've heard about it. But why don't you remind people how well that went?
9th time. Oh, it went horribly,
yeah.
but I'll tell you what it did is it gave me an appreciation for how fast those things happen. And that's why when I say indicator, that's many times what those guys are looking at. You know, the first base guy in baseball, you know, there's just these bang-bang play that happens so fast. TV doesn't do justice for how fast it happens on the field. And you just look for those indicators at times.
Here's McGough. Down goes McGough. Kyle Wilbur with the sack. There's another flag coming out late. Back-to-back-to-back plays.
Seems like every time Walt Anderson does a Seahawks game, he is busy talking to the 12s.
Retired dentist out of Sugar Land, Texas. I always thought that's a perfect place to be a dentist. Sugar Land? Got to be, right? Good business.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, number 58. Defense, Monty Wayne on the quarterback, 15-yard penalty, first down.
And that's one of those new points of emphasis this year. Some people call it the Aaron Rodgers play. Remember, that's how he broke his collarbone last year.
And we saw this, what, a couple weeks ago with the Minnesota linebacker, and not only the penalty, he also got fined
20 grand.
I don't know. You know, I played, come on, I played little QB. We wore red jerseys. I think I got hit harder than that in practice.
They don't want the defensive player putting his body weight on the quarterback, thusly injuring the quarterback, as Aaron Rodgers was last year. And so they make it a point of emphasis. We've seen it called a couple times this preseason. Seahawks benefit from it. Out to the 39-yard line. Here's Jared Holmes. Nowhere to run. He's going to be stopped for a loss of a couple of yards on the play.
So you're just asking that defender to have to slide over the quarterback? I mean, I totally get it with some of the helmet to helmet, and we have seen it where you can change some of the strike zone. Right, you can change some of that target.
Here's the argument the league will make. They won't make it publicly, but this is a quarterback. People watch TV and pay money to see starting quarterbacks. And when you get them injured on plays like that, you lose the quarterback for half the season. All of a sudden, it affects everybody. That's the reality of it. Is it fair? Probably not. But that's the real world.
False start, number 5. Offense, 5-yard penalty, second down.
Well, that one's called on McGough. False start on the quarterback. He pulled out a little bit early. You don't see that call too often.
Reset the game clock at 10:04.
More times what happens as well is maybe they give a head bob. You see that flinch right there, that reaction. That defensive end is in his peripheral looking at the quarterback, and they'll often let you get away with one. But then the umpire or the ref will come up to you and say, hey, enough with the hands or the head bob. I'm going to call that on you as being the guy to help draw them off sides.
Just about everybody right up to the line of scrimmage for the Raiders. Now they fall back, full-man rush. McGough going up top. Grayson can't turn around and grab it.
That is apparent with McGough is there's no shortage of RPMs.
No, he's got arm strength.
That throw on the run is nearly 60 yards deep down the field, just a tick out of bounds. Whether it's the deep out cut, whether it's that back shoulder throw there. We saw last week in Minnesota on a 4th and 19, a deep dagger, deep in cut. He can rip it.
I think we'd gone a play without hearing Walt Anderson's voice, so he wanted to make sure we changed the game clock. There we go.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So here we go. Seahawks. They've got to get into the 49 to keep this drive going. Let's see where they spot this. Looks like it's going to be just about half a yard shy of the first. Magoo wanted to try and talk him into going for it on fourth. Instead, they bring out the punting unit.
Quick decision. This is all Hodges here. You make that first man miss, and he has an idea of exactly where he's trying to get. Better pursuit versus the Dixon punt. What is he going to go with here? Which of the 9 different pitches is Michael Dixon going to go with? And is Pete?
Seattle is challenging the ruling on the field that the runner was short of the line of game.
Because the only down that you can't challenge is fourth down. So he wants to challenge whether or not they got the first down. More Walt Anderson when we come back. Well, Pete Carroll did not win that challenge. The ruling on the field was confirmed that Holmes was down about a half-yard short of the first down. So brings up fourth down. Seattle will punt it. Michael Dixon will get a chance to show off his leg again.
We've seen a couple different varieties. You know, the first one down here was just your traditional, what all the guys seem to do now, and put that tip of the ball down, hit it at the 10. The last one, he hit the little low liner. Really strong draw. He's just got so many tricks as he's looking like he's aiming directionally here to the right.
Gets that one up. High kick. Keon Hatcher calls for the fair catch and makes it inside the 20. 33 yards on that punt, but we wanted him just to get it inside the 20. That was the task.
Well, it's really interesting. I mean, it's just not your conventional stuff, and you can see so much of the conversation. It's just different. I think for Brian Schneider too, he was asked, we asked him about it yesterday. Is it kind of cool to have just a variety? It's almost like a catcher. I mean, which pitch do you want to call there? And that one, a directional. He would have probably liked a little bit more distance, but it's going to create some issues for these returners, looking at all the different angles and the spots that he can kick it.
It was Chris Warren cutting it back up. I think he thought more contact was coming. He keeps fighting, pushing the contact all the way out to nearly the 35-yard line.
This one be a hold.
Yep, it's coming back.
Illegal hands to the face, number 65, offense. 10-yard penalty, still first down.
Jordan Simmons.
Youngster out of USC.
17th penalty of this game so far. This will help the Seahawks defense out a little bit. Backing the Raiders up to the 10-yard line. Also brings the 12s into play. Manuel, quick pass out. Caught by his tight end, Farrell Brown. Brown picks up 5 yards on the play. And right now we pick up on the sideline the starting quarterback for your Seattle Seahawks, Russell Wilson. And Russell, I would say you had the night off, but during pregame ceremonies, I saw you on the field accepting a check for about $2.5 million for your Strong Against Cancer work, which has been going on for a couple of years. Congratulations.
It's so exciting, and just to have Milton Wright, he was actually the first patient Dr. Mike Jensen and I, we got to talk to, and he tried the T-cell therapy, and then sure enough, 2 weeks later after trying it when he only had 12 hours left to live, 2 weeks later, cancer-free. It's an amazing thing, the T-cell therapy. They're taking the T-cells out of the kid's body, regenerate and re-energize and put them back in the kid's body. Then hopefully 2 weeks the kids heal. The success rate's amazing. And every year we get to have the Wilson Celebrity Invitation where we get to raise money for that. And Safeway and Albertsons and so many other people are so influential in that process. And it's been amazing just to be able to see kids literally walk out, for me and Sierra, to see kids walk out of the hospital and no more cancer. It's the greatest gift in the world, arguably, and it's the biggest blessing. So we're grateful for that, and the Why Not You Foundation and what we're doing there for me and Sierra. It's been amazing. and we're truly grateful for that.
Hey, Russ, what do you see as the ultimate vision for Strong Against Cancer?
We honestly believe that the ultimate vision for Strong Against Cancer and the Why Not You Foundation, what we're doing, is to, one, first of all, bring awareness, but two, to help give every kid in the world an opportunity to be cancer-free. And when I mean that, you know, to do certain things is sometimes expensive. So how do we raise awareness? How do we create donations? How do we create opportunity to do that? And we're doing that with the Why Not You Foundation. We're donating a lot of money to Strong Against Cancer. And it's been an amazing process. And to be able to see so many kids, the success rate is above 90%, I believe, still. And maybe even higher than 93, 95 even. And just to think about that, it's just a true blessing. And so the reality is this, you know, Brock, is this right here. Is it could be your kids. It could be my kids. It could be someone who's watching this right now. And we all know somebody who's gone through cancer, and we don't want our children to go through that. And if they do, how do we help them the best way possible?
Well, we can certainly see your enthusiasm for the cause, and rightfully so. As E.J. Manuel throws deep here for Marcel Aitman, falls incomplete. And I think one of the things you've also been enthusiastic about this training camp, this preseason, has been the play of the young guys on this squad. I mean, they've really come out in every game and showed well.
It's been really exciting. And the character of the guys we have on our team right now, and the work ethic, and just the vision and where they want to go, where we want to go, it's really exciting. And it's a gift to be able to come to work every day, to come to practice, and just enjoy what you get to do. I love it. I couldn't love these guys anymore. It's been a blessing, and they're balling right now. We're in a fight right now to hopefully get a W at home in Central League.
Hey, Russell, it sure feels like Schottenheimer likes to take shots down the field, whether it's with you or any of the quarterbacks. Is that something you expect to continue into the regular season?
Well, I think we're always aggressive. I think we want to be aggressive, but we want to play smart football. We want to be able to attack and be very balanced. As you guys saw in the Minnesota game, it's a very, very good defense, one of the best in the league. We were able to mix it up, you know, to attack them in the run game, attack them in the pass game, attack them in empty, attack them in every way possible, and really mix it and make them think. And it's been amazing. Just Schottenheimer's been great. He's been on it every day. It's great to work with him. We get having so many one-on-one conversations. He's phenomenal, as good as it gets, and so it's been great.
Talk to me about the impact of Tuesdays for you during the regular season.
Yeah,
Russ.
I mean, Tuesdays, you know, when I got here in Seattle in 2012, I got here, I believe it was May 11th, 2012, and it was the biggest blessing in the world to be able to go to Seattle Children's and start something that I, you know, growing up, my dad was always in hospitals, sick, unfortunately, and my mom, she was an ER nurse, and she was always working there. So I was comfortable going there, but I knew that God had given me an opportunity to play the game of football, but also to give back. And when much is given, much is required, Brock, as you know, and I wanted to be able to go into a place like the Seattle Children's and see these young kids who just give them a glimpse of hope, and they give me so much hope. And the miracles that I've been able to see, the blessings, the smiles, the tears too. It hasn't all been great all the time. You know, there's tough times. But in the day, I think that people know that when people love them, when people care, it just makes it a little bit easier. And I've been grateful for that. And the Why Not You Foundation, I got to give credit to Carly, our foundation director with Why Not You Foundation. She's been amazing since day one at Seattle Children's. I was able to take her away and have her on Why Not You Foundation. And she's been, we've been able to do so much with Seattle Children's. It's been a blessing for sure. And then ultimately, you know, I think that, you know, for me and Sierra, we really want to make a difference in our communities and our worlds. And so it's been a blessing to be able to do that every day.
Well, congratulations on the success of the foundation. I know the work continues, and, you know, it's about giving, it's about the time, it's about seeing the success, but unfortunately, you need the money as well to help out, and you've done a great job. Thanks, Russell.
Well, thank you, guys. Go Hawks. I'll see you guys. Why not you?
All right, stay healthy this season as well. Well, you just saw the big touchdown pass while we were talking to Russell Wilson. Saeed Blacknall of the Raiders getting it into the end zone, 45 yards on the score.
And you saw two huge plays on that drive by E.J. Manuel. And the coaching staff and Tom Cable, you could see it in E.J. that is so fired up. 3 touchdown passes, the Raiders missed their points after touchdown as well. But the big play, many have been given up this preseason by the Seahawks. Such a focus of what they do defensively. But give some credit to the Raiders. Their young receivers fighting through contact, making the difference for E.J. for his 3rd touchdown pass.
Saeed Blacknall with a second 45-yard touchdown pass of the night for the Raiders. Extends the lead to 23-13. Just over 5 minutes left here in the 3rd quarter.
receivers often, I'm looking at scores all around the league tonight, and you're seeing it. Receivers get their chance in this game against backup secondary people right all across the league. Second corners, second safeties, third stringers at times. In your one-on-one coverage, or if you break a tackle, there's ample opportunities to make them up.
Reynolds takes it in. They do, and the Seahawks will start from the 25-yard line. This all-important final game of the preseason. All teams have to cut their rosters from 90 men, where it is tonight, to 53 by 1 p.m. on Saturday Pacific time. And that's going to be 1,200 players who are on rosters right now who won't be NFL players in 48 hours. What
we saw last year, I think, with this, the biggest takeaway of all of it, and first of all, Pete and the coaches love this, to have all these guys get the opportunity to compete one more time, to show everybody what they can do. You can see a lot of trades. You saw a flurry of them over this 48-hour span last year. I would expect the same all across the league over the next couple days.
Fighting, gets a couple yards on the play, and you know that's something we didn't used to see in the NFL. Like the old school GMs, George Youngs and Jim Finks, those guys never made trades. Now it's almost like fantasy football with the new crop that comes in.
You know, and this is a little unique. You know, I think there's some areas league-wide of some strength. I think you see it with wide receivers. I think actually a little bit of corners as well. Coach Carroll's got a bunch of them, some hard decisions on this roster. In certain areas of need all across this league, and it always starts on that offensive line.
Offensive line depth is really an issue all around. Barely gets back to the line of scrimmage. You see it there. You see kind of the linebacker position. You know, and really it's indicative of what's going on in college football right now. They're spreading guys out, fast, small guys, and that's what you see coming up now to the NFL.
And it is just so different. You know, I'll have UCLA and Chip Kelly on Saturday. And people don't realize the difference these hash marks make. And how much different it is when they're tighter in college versus pro games. So much more space collegiately for little guys to play basketball and grass. The big men at this level.
Caleb Scott fighting off. Yeah, out of bounds. I think he may have been out of bounds before he caught it and didn't get back in time. Nonetheless, it's incomplete.
It may have been good at Vanderbilt. I think he may have snuck one foot in, but it takes two, as we've seen now on a couple different occasions with these young Seahawk wide receivers. But, you know, just to pay off that point, you know, in the college game, you have, with those wider hash marks, so much more space. I was talking to Matt Millen, who's doing the TV side with the Oakland Raiders beforehand, but when you play those tight hash marks, so much more of the game in that phone booth, you still need big, physical people.
Keon Hatcher takes the punt from Dixon. Flags go flying everywhere. 42 yards on the punt. 6 yards for now on the return.
Illegal block in the back during the return, number 45, receiving team, 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down.
Dallin Levitt called for the penalty, and Peter McLaughlin, president of the Seahawks, maybe he's on his phone right now trying to get clear. You know what clear is, right? You can get it at the airport, but now you're able to use it at stadiums all around the league. Around baseball, we've seen it. Now the Seahawks are the first team in the National Football League to institute it. You get in, once you go through the program, with your thumb, your eyes, whatever, you never have to pull out ID, you don't have to pull out your ticket. It makes it worthwhile.
I'll tell you one thing that Peter has made a commitment to and followed through on in mighty ways is they're going to innovate. Just never, ever going to sit and rest on their laurels and say, man, we got a special place. They continue to add into this facility. Clear, I think, another example of that. You're right. You've seen it in some baseball stadiums. Seahawks one of the first to do it in the NFL, and it's not a surprise. It's under his leadership that they continue to just always push the envelope. It's about the fan. It's about the experience, be it the food, be it Clear. They're going to take care of their 12s who play such a vital role in this building.
Tommy Cook down at quarterback for the Raiders. And just to wrap up about Clear, I tell you, if you've ever used it at the airport, it is the greatest thing in the world. I kid you not. We thought TSA Free was nice. It's okay. Clear is awesome.
Are you trying to be a spokesman for players?
I should. I use it enough. But I tell you, I just love it. It's my favorite thing about going to the airport.
Yes.
It is. I'm sorry.
What are you talking about?
Little pleasures in life.
You go on a commercial?
Yeah. Well,
or you go on a commercial?
Yes. I'm a regular dude. You got the wrong guy on the show. That's what you think. Back to football. Big third down. Cook. Under pressure. Escapes. Being chased. Gets away. And the first down. Flags on the play.
Holding number 75, offense, 10-yard penalty. Still third down.
And that one's going to come back because of the third-round pick out of North Carolina A&T, Brandon Parker. Negates a good play by Cook.
Well, we've seen that on the other side for the Seahawks tonight through the entire preseason. Nobody's taking points off the board. In this case, a really nice third down conversion. Connor Cook staying active and alive in that pocket. But 3rd and 16, this is where you would sure love, down 10, you would sure love your first takeaway here defensively in a couple games.
Cook completing less than 50% of his passes in the preseason. Will continue that streak, throwing it in the ground towards James Butler. So thanks in part to the penalty, the Seahawks defense comes through. Down by 10 in the final preseason game. 16 minutes, 49 seconds left. For some of these guys who show that they belong on this roster, or somewhere in the National Football League. Keith Griffin, Josh Smith, blocking that play. And instead, it's caught by Grayson. Still dancing around. A lot of effort, not much on the return. 52 yards on the punt. Officially 0, but another play, this time on special teams by number 49.
Yeah, and you're going to see 49. We'll see whether he's a starting will linebacker in Denver, KJ can get back or not, but you are going to see him on the right side of your screen. You are going to see him in this phase of it. With his quickness and his speed. Step and a half away, and that is it. He will make an impact on special teams this year. I can guarantee you that.
It's just a football player. Very good. There's Gerald Holmes down the backfield. Jimmy 5.
Be a bad time here in the fourth quarter as well. Let's take a 2-minute drill to create and foster a little tempo. I think it will be one of the things that stands out a little bit about the Seahawks team more than some of its predecessors. The run game, the diversity in it, and don't be surprised if you feel more tempo from them.
Pass. Good team caught that. Jason Kabinda made the tackle. Clayton Wilson.
That's first reception. A guy that's been banged up this preseason. His first reception of the preseason. Getting back on the field.
Brings up the 3rd and 4.
It's a pretty significant third down here for field position pushing into the fourth quarter. Final 15 minutes.
Here we go. Caleb Scott. Did he hold on to it? No, incomplete. He's juggling it along the sideline. You can see Pete making his argument that he caught it while he was on his back. Here's another look. It's a better angle. Yeah. Pete's going to challenge this because he should be considered down after he makes the catch and the defender
a good.
And again, this is part of the new rule. We go back to every action causes a reaction, and this is because of the Jesse James catch.
Yeah.
The Pittsburgh Steelers tight end late in the season against New England. Now, if you make a football move, then it should be a completed catch. 2 steps or any part of your body touching the ground. And he's down when the defender touches him. So under the new interpretation of the rules, this should be a catch.
You sure about that?
I'm sure about it. We'll see if Walt Anderson's sure about it.
Well, this is a good little test case. We've had a few of these. We had the helmet penalty earlier. It went the wrong way, but there's your new rules as it's defined in the NFL rule book, trying to get an understanding, a grasp of this catch. What's catch, what's not a catch. Do you have control?
I thought so.
2 feet down or another body part, obviously the body going down to the ground. I think the question is here, does he ever really gain control?
I think it's control, and he's down. Again, under last year's interpretation,
last year there's no chance.
Right.
Last year that's
but I think so.
Actually, viewing the play, the ruling on the field has changed.
There you go.
The receiver met all the requirements of the catch, and then the ball was stripped. He is beyond the line of game. It is a first down to Seattle. Seattle's not charged with a timeout. However, because their first challenge was unsuccessful, Seattle will have no additional challenges the remainder of the game. Please put 18 seconds on the game clock. 18 on the game clock, and it'll wind on my signal.
I can say this unequivocally, that's not a catch last year.
No.
So that is a textbook example of change. You nailed it. Way to go. You and Clear, way to go. We've learned that in the last 3-4 minutes.
My 2 favorite things are rules interpretations and Clear, yes.
But you know what? If it means more catches this year, then sign me up for that.
And then, you know what? The reality is that should be a catch.
Yep.
And I think that's what they want to do. Because when we saw the Jesse James play or several plays last year, you know, how is that not a catch?
That's
they
right.
want to make it so if everybody who's sitting around thinks it's a catch, it's ruled a catch, as that one was. Now the ball's on the 44-yard line. Fighting. Good second effort out to midfield, and that'll be the final play of this 3rd quarter.
This is the end of the 3rd quarter.
1 more quarter left to go in the preseason. Seahawks trying to get back in this and get their first win of the preseason campaign. They're down 10, but there's still 15 minutes left to play. Last quarter of the preseason. Seahawks down by 10 to the Raiders. Alex Magoo trying to get it back in this.
You got a play action shot. This is the area of the field where they've certainly taken a bunch of them, both teams tonight.
Play action. Shot. Caught. Gracie, first down. Gain of 8. Marvin Gracie, a guy who's been on and off this squad during the preseason.
Yeah, and he's been on because it's so intriguing when you've got somebody that can run sub-10, 100 meters. When you're talking world-class Olympian on the 4x100 team, he does a nice job there just securing the catch. The throw slows him down just a little bit.
Made the U.S. Olympic team in 2016 in Rio. That pass down the way of the line of scrimmage. Down on Levitt with a swat.
But if you want an opportunity and you want to catch the eye of John Schneider and these scouts and Coach Carroll in particular, run real fast.
Yeah.
Cyril Grayson, there's a good look at John Schneider. It is, you know.
Is that his summer look?
Speed never slumps. You know, he's buying into that yesterday. We had a great conversation with him, and so fun to sit with, and right there just talking ball with Bobby Wagner. By the way, a 2nd-round pick because he could flat out run 250 pounds.
Working out of the shotgun. He's got speed. Slides just across the 40-yard line, and you know, we talked about what we've seen out of him. Yes, the arm strength, but the ability to pull the ball down and run it.
Well, when John Schneider, who's down there on the field, evaluates these quarterbacks, you have to look at guys. If Russell Wilson is your starter, you have to have somebody. I think it is why Brett Hundley is very intriguing to them. A guy that can run and move and do many of those things. You just can't be, you want some commonality in that QB room, right, for everybody in the system. So the zone read and the movement, the play action pass. Hundley and obviously the dude is more than capable of doing all of that.
See if he can pick up this first down. Raiders coming to blitz. Magoo going down top, overthrow, miscommunication. Cyril Grayson went inside. Magoo expected him to go out. You can see he's ready to talk to him as soon as he gets back.
That is one of those that is a QB, and you see right away going over to Coach Carroll, the wide receiver coach, saying, hey, man, we got one-on-one situation. We've already seen it on a few different occasions tonight. If you stay outside, there is so much more room for you to throw the ball to your outside and deep right in.
Michael Dixon. Hey, watch out, man, watch out, watch out. Down inside the 5, just like that. Akeem King there to make the catch. Forget the yardage, only 37. He does exactly what you want him to do as the Seahawks trying to get that first win of the preseason. If you like big plays, this is your game. 2 of the Raiders, 3 touchdowns, 45-yard passes. One of the Seahawks, 2 scores, an 81-yard touchdown pass. Right now it's 23-13. Raiders with the lead. Cook deep in his own territory from Raiders, the quarterback. Hands that off James Butler. Not going to get far before Lorenzo Jerome stops him. You know, we talked about the roster being cut down from 90 to 53 between now and Saturday. And one thing that John Schneider has been shown to do here, just because you cut a guy and you set a 53-man roster at 1 o'clock, by 6:30, 7 o'clock, that may not be the same 53 guys.
Yeah, and you just never rest. We're talking about in this building with the president and Peter and the way they go about their work here. They're going to never, ever rest, and you can hear it with the 12s.
Number 19, offense. Half the distance to the goal, still second down.
And when it comes to the move that the Seahawks make over the last couple days, acquiring Brett Hundley for a 6th-round pick, I think it's 2 reasons. Number 1, because John Schneider thinks he's a good player, an ascending player that will be better here in this system, that they'll coach up and they'll develop, and they liked him an awful lot out of UCLA. And then I think you also look at what Howie Roseman and Philly did, parlaying Sam Bradford, what the Jets just did, parlaying Teddy Bridgewater, the value that quarterbacks have if you can grow them and develop them in the system.
Butler, nowhere to run. Stopped at the 2.
And it was a Green Bay way. I mean, that's a Ron Wolf way back when. That Reggie McKenzie grew up in, that John Schneider grew up in. They did it with Hasselbeck. They did Mark Brunell. Another beautiful play in the backfield.
Kurt Warner started out his career there as well. That was the place they had 2nd and 3rd team quarterbacks.
Yep.
Warner wasn't traded, he was released, but the other guys were traded for draft picks that turned into players that helped them win championships.
And a nice play by Rasheem Green. Which young guy can get home in this huge situation? Keep the Raiders backed up.
12's allowed. Here comes the pressure. Carter Cook down the sideline. Johnny holds it off his fingertips. Trey Flowers trying to convert from safety to cornerback, showing you why they think he can.
And I love the play call. We have seen this from both teams tonight. Very busy pushing the ball down the field. Some good hand fighting. None of it impeded the receiver holding that case opportunity to go get it. Is that the difference?
Yeah,
when you're 6'3", just that little bit of length, is that the difference that causes that incompletion? Pete Carroll and his staff certainly believe that. They teach and they love speed, but they love length as well.
And with him step for step, they got just enough of that football. Keenan Reynolds. And the Seahawks will start in Raider territory. Seahawks football is presented by Washington's Lottery and Seahawks Scratch. You can win a trip to the Seahawks game in Arizona and take your Loud on the road. All you have to do is visit WALottery.com for the details.
So here's a little chess match for Alex Magoo and Paul Gunther, D coordinator, Brian Schottenheimer on the other side. This has been the area you've taken some of those shots down the field. Does D coordinator anticipate that? In the spring or run? Is there a screen? A little back and forth. Said they get to Gerald Hall. Spring that run there. Hopefully get her up the middle.
He said he gets just 2 yards before Jason Comenda stops it.
And this is where, if you're Alex Magoo, you just want to win this game. Okay, you've got good field position. You had it on the last possession. And that really is all you're thinking right now, man. The final impression you want to make over the last 11 minutes. You don't know how much football you're going to play the rest of this season. For Coach Carroll, may it be on this practice squad, may it be somewhere else, but all that's going through your head is, I want to help this team win in the final 11.
Flags down before the snap.
Ball starts number 62, offense. 5-yard penalty, still second down.
So Marcus Henry. So we're back to the Seahawks a little bit.
Game clock. 10-5-7.
They're paying attention to the game clock tonight, aren't they?
All over.
All right on it.
That's a dentist.
Yeah.
On the details.
Henry in at center right now. Bellevue High School. Local kid. Boise State from college. Snaps to Magoo. Steps up, fires it over the middle. Pass caught. That's Wilson again. That's Reynolds. Keenan Reynolds, pardon me.
It's just amazing. If you just put a 9 instead of the 5 right there.
He looks just like it.
His
mannerisms,
just
everything.
Movement, and that's not a surprise. I mean, you know, this offseason, he's going to watch one of the best do it. But just the quickness, the frame, just the football ability, the understanding.
No gain.
It's regular season, you're kicking this field goal. And you're making it a 1-possession game, but I think here in the preseason, these are just continue. You want to give these players their moments. Fourth downs to evaluate for Brian Schottenheimer to get to his 4th down list. We've seen a bunch of them tonight.
Looking for the 35. Pulls it down. Flushed out. Oh, he had it. Reynolds was there and open, and Magoo just couldn't make the connection. Turnover on downs. Seahawks football is brought to you by Home Street Bank. There's no place like Home Street Bank. Raider fans, Seahawk fans, living in harmony. 9.5 minutes left to go in this preseason. Raiders holding on to a 10-point lead. Warren out to the 43-yard line. Delano Hill would stop. Down to the sideline. We've got the guy who just got a new 3-year contract, so we'll be around in Seattle for quite a while. Congratulations, Tyler Lockett.
Hey, appreciate it. Thank you so much.
He said it was a dream come true for you.
Oh, definitely. I mean, this is something that you dream of when you're a little kid, being in school. You know, when you want to go play sports, you never know what's going to happen, but everybody wants to get that second contract to be able to take care of their family.
So who was the first call, Tyler, after everything got done officially?
You know, it got to be my mom. Mom was my first call. Dad was second. Uncle was third.
And
I mean, they were excited. They were probably more excited than I was. I mean, you know, that's something that my mom's been waiting for. My dad knows how it is. You know, he played in the NFL for about 7 years. So, I mean, it's just an exciting moment, an exciting time for my whole entire family.
You know, this is really, in my mind, kind of proof that you are back. You know, had the injury a season and a half ago, and you still made the Pro Bowl last year. But, you know, it seems as though this year you've turned the corner. The organization shows faith in you by giving you the contract, so it removes all doubt that you're back to where you were before.
Oh, I mean, definitely. You know, being in this business, it's hard for a team to be able to even give a second contract and to be able to trust a player like that. And the fact that they have a lot of faith in me, I mean, it says a lot. And I've been working my butt off trying to do whatever I can to be an exceptional returner as well as a great receiver as well. I got Doug Baldwin, Brandon Marshall. I got guys like that that's vets being able to help my game, allowing me to be able to take it to a new level, and I'm just looking forward to the season.
Tyler, does this empower you to have even more voice with this commitment that's been made to you?
I mean, a little bit, but that's something that I've already tried to take a role on in itself in OTAs and also during camp. Just trying to give more of me to my teammates, do whatever it is. If I got to be the middleman, understanding that, you know, I'm a vet as well as being able to have more chemistry and talk to the rookies, you know, I'm willing to do that. Whatever it takes for us to be able to win. If I got to be quiet and show up on my actions, I'm willing to do that as well.
Tyler, it sure feels like, and I asked Russell about this last quarter, there's going to be a lot of opportunities to push the ball down the field. I think we felt it all preseason, and again tonight. The Coach Schottenheimer likes to take those shots down the field. How much fun is that for you?
I mean, it's really exciting to be able to watch it. I mean, you know, wasn't able to be out there a lot today, but being able to see a lot of guys make great plays. You know, Stringfellow made that terrific catch over there to be able to score. Malik should have had that touchdown in there, got to get his feet in, but I mean, it's an exciting moment. Like we said, we see Shotty's trying to mix it up with the run game and the pass game going deep. I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait till week 1.
I tell you, we talk about you being one of the older guys on the team as far as number of years in the league. You still look like a kid, though.
Hey, you know? That means when I'm older, I'm still going to look the same. There's nothing wrong with that, my brother.
Exactly. Take advantage of it.
Yes, sir.
We appreciate it. Congratulations.
Hey, thank you. You have a good day.
All right. Stay healthy all season.
Thank you.
I tell you, he's got a good ID to go to the grocery store, doesn't he?
He's such a good kid.
He really is, man.
He really is. He's 25, 26, and he's accomplished an awful lot in that contract. I think indicative of how much more this organization, he believes there still is for him in his game.
Over the middle, Keon Hatcher. Third touchdown of the night, this time from Connor Cook. 22 yards on that one.
Sluggo Seam, that one's been in the book for about 20-something years, too. Sean Gruden saying, yep, we've run this one a long time. Pump to your right, look at the safety, just vacate the middle, and then you got the whole center field. It's amazing, man. A lot of things, Kurt, in life change in a lot of sports, but you watch some of these same plays, and, you know, there's a bunch of old John Gruden quarterbacks and players all over the league watching, I'm sure, this preseason. How's John going to do? What's he going to do? You know what he's still going to do? He's going to still run Spider 2 Y Banana, and he's going to run Sluggo Seam, and he's going to run so many of these plays. And I guarantee, look at that smile. Yep, was that Sluggo Seam? Yep, still was. Yep, did it with Jerry Rice, did it with a lot of guys through the years. Keyshawn, they all did it. And it still works, and Keon, his third touchdown of the night.
I think everybody's wondering, out of football for 9 years in the broadcast booth, but out of the coaching side of things for almost a decade, just how his game will adapt, if he will be able to adapt to. I mean, because, you know, the game changes. 9 years is a long time to be away from it. But so far, the way things have looked tonight and this preseason, which they're on the verge of going to 3-1, it looks like he's adapting quite well.
They're an interesting team, aren't they? In a division that I think, and we'll see right away as the Seahawks travel to Denver and play against this AFC West, and we'll see Oakland over in London and Wembley Stadium later this year. But I think that's a division. I think Oakland, a team very much like these Seahawks that people, I think, nationally look at and wonder and see, man, there's a lot of turnover. 40 to Jordy Nelson, 40 new Raiders that have come in with John. What are they going to be? I don't know. With the Seahawks, there's a lot of new faces and young players that locally we are so excited about. But nationally, you know, still have a lot to learn.
Here's Keenan Reynolds. Flags come out. Alex Magoo gets ready to take the field in a bigger hole.
Return. Personal foul, face mask, number 17. Receiving team, half the distance of the goal. First down.
It's on DeMaurier Stringfellow, who scored the big 81-yard touchdown. Big wide receiver for the Seahawks. He's a guy who's trying to inject his name right into the middle of that competition for the guys after Doug Baldwin and after, you know, the guys that we assume are going to make this team.
Tyler Lockett that we just chatted with. Brandon Marshall is the big piece, and yeah, you've seen it all preseason long. Plays by so many of them over the course of this preseason, plays down the field. This is going to be one of those long conversations over the next 48 hours to sort out exactly what that room is going to look like Saturday night.
Here's Malik Turner with running room after the catch, spinning his way out across the 40-yard line. Nice pickup of 32 yards on first down with all the money.
I'll tell you what else I liked about that room. Malik Turner's had a beautiful preseason because I like the variety of skill sets and sizes and strengths and age and experience. A lot of what Tyler was just speaking to.
Here's Magoo. Chased out of the pocket. And smartly gets rid of that one.
You know what Doug is. Doug is one of the best receivers in this game. And in the slot, there's nobody that catches it better and gets open. You know what Tyler Lockett is. He's always shown big playability. And as Pete Carroll said this week, all-purpose yards, no one's had more in the last 3 years. Both in the return game and plays down the field for Tyler. Brandon Marshall had a nice preseason. There was some wonder, could he do this day after day, week after week, and continue to be that big body receiver? And then Jerron Brown, David Moore, Marcus Johnson, Mario Stringfellow. A lot of decisions to be made.
Magoo fires that one out to Turner. First down into Raider territory. 12 yards on that game. Clock inside 5 minutes.
This is where he's most comfortable.
He really seems to run this
what they did.
Yeah,
I mean, in college,
You're
you
right.
played 4 years. What you do. You're getting in that huddle, doing things conventionally. Part of the reason that Brett Hundley's here, that he's had experience the last 3+ years doing that in Green Bay.
Good pass. Celebration can't handle.
The receiver coach that's working with a lot of those young players, Nate Carroll. Good shot of him a couple games ago talking some clock management with Pete and working through that and to a man and talking to a lot of those receivers. Really excited to have Nate's voice, a guy that's been around this thing, around this program, knows exactly what's asked of that position group. And I think more of it will be asked this year. So I think they're going to be able to run the ball a whole lot more effectively to set up so much of that play action pass.
Running. Cut back across the field looking for a block. Didn't quite get it, but he got another big gain this time. Inside the 30 down to the 29-yard line. Give him 19.
Yeah, he likes this. He likes to create. He likes to be on the move. He's been his best in these 2-minute situations. This isn't 2 minutes, but it's the up-tempo that he is certainly very, very comfortable running.
Running with no huddle. Confusion on the Seahawks offense, and they're forced to use a timeout.
30 seconds. Charge timeout. Yeah. 30 seconds timeout.
See, Magoo was trying to get guys lined up, just couldn't get it done fast enough. He's shown a better command of this offense the last 2 weeks in particular.
Yeah, he has. This is, you know, a bit of a wild card. Ball security. I think that will probably be talked about, getting the pads down. Again, all of the experience, and that is why I gave you the 2 other reasons. I think Brett Hundley they view as an excellent player, always have, and he's ascending. But number 2, he's a good fit in this system. But number 3, there's no substitute for the experience that Brett Hundley has had. That Alex Magoo is hoping that he can gain over these next few years as well.
Hundley just coming over the trade yesterday, not in uniform tonight. Here's Magoo running again. What a cut! And it gets out of bounds. Wheels and a move. He's showing you he's out there for the first down.
You know what? He's still having fun playing the game.
Well, that's what you said. Just let it go and have fun. He's got 31 yards on 3 scrambles.
That was a pretty good cut there on Mr. Cowser, the linebacker.
Gain of 11 to the 18. Jason Kabenda, who has been busy tonight, right there. Not moving at all.
Yeah, he's there, Shaquem Griffin. He doesn't run as fast, and that's part of the reason he went undrafted out of Penn State. He is an instinctive middle linebacker that sure sniffs out many of those plays. The tacklers did that screen pass there.
Under 3.5 minutes. Quick pass. Attack to Caleb Scott. Scott out of bounds. So spotted inside the 11-yard line. Bring up a 3rd and 2. Scott's a guy who was injured. Missed the first couple of weeks of the preseason. Showed up with big catch last week and has made a couple plays here in this 4th quarter tonight.
Read actions a bit closer into the red zone here as well.
Here comes the blitz. Kyle Carter, tight end, reaching. Touchdown, Seahawks. 10 yards on the score from Magoo to Carter.
Nice job by Alex. He's feeling the pressure comes. He knows it's going to be unblocked defenders, and I've talked to him about awareness an awful lot this preseason. You want young guys to have an awareness of the down and distance, an awareness of the rules, and awareness there in Kyle's case, wonderfully so, of knowing just where he's got to reach that football across the plane for his first touchdown as a Seahawk.
So it pulls the Seahawks a little bit closer. Janikowski, who's already missed one tonight, misses a second. He's always been Mr. Reliable. He's struggling with the point after tonight.
Yeah, that was a pretty easy read pre-snap. You know, you as a quarterback, you could feel all those defenders. There's times they get up and they're bluffing you, and we've seen that tonight. And that up-tempo offense, why a lot of colleges like to run it. That's why it's made the job a little bit easier for quarterbacks. When you get in that spread, you get up-tempo, it makes the defense declare that much faster. For Magoo there, he could see that blitz coming. He knew where his outlet was. Kyle Carter, he's got that one-on-one situation, much like Stringfellow had earlier tonight. You've got to win it. You got to find a way to get in the end zone. And we'll get a chance to see an onside kick.
Haven't seen one all preseason. You've seen 3 missed extra points in this game. All of them, in fact, same end.
That end zone, and those flags are moving a little bit. And that end zone, you can ask a lot of kickers in this league about that end zone. This is Dixon. Drop kick.
Over Butler's head and into the end zone. It's a nervous smile after that.
Yeah, it's a little bit of action. You know, trying to play that wind, and you can. That's going to be another weapon throughout the course of the season to see how that is all going to play out directionally. He's able to control it, spin it, and get it to some different spots. Week-to-week game plan-wise, if you can take advantage of that.
So the ball will come out to the 25-yard line. Dixon showing his versatility. Seahawks defense trying to hold open right where they are. 3 minutes, 11 seconds left to play. Maurice Alexander on the tackle.
These next 24 to 48 hours, you don't want your phone to ring if you're a player. You know, you're sitting around kind of like draft day. You want your phone to ring on draft day, right?
Yeah.
As Shaquem was telling us yesterday. But over the next couple days, if you're on the bubble, you just don't necessarily want to see that 425 number. As you can see, the roster cut down September 1st. That practice squad of 10 established. You're going to see a lot of these Seahawks players, I believe, on that. And John Schneider's got a lot of decisions to make. That phone, his phone won't stop ringing over the next 48 hours. As he and Pete talk people all over this league as they continue to look for the kind of players to add, I think, in a couple different spots. I would be surprised come Saturday, Sunday, if the 53 includes just the people on the sidelines, because it's not necessarily ever been that way. You know, you've even in 2012 and 2013 and 2014. So John Schneider, one of his real strengths is continuing to be aggressive, to take some of the risks, and to never, ever rest on your laurels to add to this football team.
This is a 2-minute warning.
Seahawks football has been brought to you by CenturyLink, your link to what's next. Back here at CenturyLink Field in Seattle, the Seahawks trailing the Raiders 30-19 with 2 minutes left in the preseason. Aaron Levine alongside Dave Wyman. And Dave, I don't know about you, but I'm ready to start talking about the regular season.
Well, I'm sure the players are too, and it's sad for the guys that get cut, but I remember thinking after the last game, hey, these are the 52 other guys that I'm going to go to battle with this year, and it's kind of a comforting and cool feeling.
We'll have post-game reaction coming up after this, but first let's head back up to CURT and Brock.
All right, Raiders look like they're ready to just kind of wind down the clock on the preseason. Up 30-19. Left. Jackson with the stop. One thing that GM John Schneider talked to us about as Seattle uses its last timeout is just how difficult this is for a general manager. Not just because you have to figure out your roster, but you know that the guys you cut, for some of them, they'll never put pads on again, affecting people's lives.
Yeah, there's no question about it. It is the most difficult part of the job when you talk to any, I think, of the decision makers that ultimately have to make that call. But I'll tell you what I think you want as a player is you want honesty too. You know, you want to know, hey, am I close? Where am I at? You know, do you think I should continue to pursue this? And I'll tell you, that is one thing that you will find in this program under Pete is a whole lot of transparency. Tell the Truth Monday. And that's not just about the regular season. That's throughout this entire process, through the OTAs and mini camps and training camp. And I don't think they want to blindside any of these players. And certainly, these guys deserve all the feedback in the world if it's not going to be a fit here.
Josh Jones tries to strip him. Seahawks get him down to the ground. What's interesting about this preseason is, barring the miracle of miracles, Pete Carroll finished 0-4 for the first time as Seahawks head coach in the preseason. Yet, you don't feel like this is a team that's really going to struggle this season. They're not, you know, maybe what they were, the Legion of Boom and the Super Bowl expectations. But all the people that have them in 4 or 5 games, I don't see that. I mean, I think this is a team that can compete. They've got some talent, and they're going to be right there.
I think there was a little disappointment coming out of L.A. You know, against the Chargers. There was a little bit of shell shock for the rookies. I mean, there's going to be a lot of inexperience that's going to play. But, yeah, I thought the number ones went up and down the field. Against the Colts in this building, they went up and down the field. Against the Chargers, they went up and down the field. Against Minnesota last week, they're running the ball so much better. They're much more violent, I thought, than even the Minnesota team. It's a very physical team. So, yeah, I think there are plenty of positives to walk away from in this preseason.
You're going to get the ups and downs of a young football team, but you like the leadership they've gotten guys like Bobby Wagner and K.J. Wright and Russell Wilson.
Yep.
But more importantly, the enthusiasm that these young people show. When I say young, I mean rookies and second-year guys.
Sure, and we've done this in 13 and 14 and 15 together, Kurt. There's no question that the roster, as far as the depth of veterans, right, that it gained so much valuable experience through the years, and 25 through 53 had a lot of experience. It's going to be different this year, and I think you felt some of that in this preseason.
Keenan Reynolds picked that one up. Just goes down right at 25. So, partner, another year has come and gone. Thank you so much for your hospitality. I love
It's fun to have you. That's amazing. This one felt, for some reason, I don't know if it's the youth. I don't know if it is just how much I think we have all enjoyed the young people on this team. This draft class is going to get contributions from nearly every one of them. You know, the pros, and Austin Davis being one of those. And he's just a good guy. He is a good pro. It's been an enjoyable preseason to be around this team. And after decisions are made in the next 48 hours, it's going to be one heck of an intriguing regular season.
Yeah, it's all about wins and losses, but there's definitely a different energy within this organization, a positive energy. A team that's fun to be around again. Justin Stockton, his first and probably only carry as a Seahawk. That'll do it. 19 yards on that run, 19 points is what the Seahawks put up tonight, but it wasn't enough. Pete with a smile, because he knows there's reason to feel good, even though they lose 30-19 and finish the preseason at 0-4.
We'll enjoy watching you on Fox this year as always, Kurt. Thank you, man.
And we'll catch you doing college football starting this Saturday. For Brock Heward, I'm Curt Menefee. Thank you so much for watching. The Seahawks finish the preseason down 30-19.
Back here in Seattle, Washington, at CenturyLink Field, the Seahawks falling to the Raiders in the preseason finale at 30-19. Aaron Levine alongside Dave Wyman. And Dave, we say it every year, it doesn't matter how the Seahawks finish in the preseason. The regular season is what matters. In big picture, how you feeling going into next week in Denver?
Yeah, well, here's one of the things you say when you go 0-4 in the preseason. The Detroit Lions a few years ago went 4-0, and they went 0-16 in the regular season. That's all that matters. But, yeah, I think going forward, they answered a lot of questions. I've said that a lot this preseason, but I do think running game, pass rush, some of the younger guys on defense, they've answered questions for the coaches, so it's easy for them to make decisions going into the season, knowing where to play guys, what plays to call, what works, what's the personality of this team.
Well, we were able to see two quarterbacks tonight who most likely won't be on the final 53-man roster. Some decisions to make now. Kyle Carter, tight end. Nice catch from Alex Magoo in the end zone as the Seahawks fall to the Raiders 30-19. More after this. And a good look at downtown Seattle as the Seahawks fall to the Raiders 30-19 in the preseason finale. 10 days from the start of the regular season. We'll have more on the postgame show coming up after this. Back here at CenturyLink Field, the end of the preseason comes with a 30-19 Seahawks loss to the Oakland Raiders. Aaron Levine again with Dave Wyman. Dave, who made a case to make that final 53-man roster?
Let's start with Austin Calitro, and a kid out of Villanova, second-year guy. And, you know, watched him in practice, and the guy, I watched him in drills. I'm like, this guy's the most sound linebacker, always feet square. See him getting a sack there. He had a bunch of big hits, and probably top 3 as far as tackles go this year in the preseason. So Austin Calitro, smart kid out of Nova. I think he's gonna make this team. So really nice to see that. He's also a good special team player as well.
Yeah, how about Shaquem Griffin? 8 tackles in the first half. He was everywhere.
Right, and Shaquem not really trying to make the team. He's going to make the team. It's more about him making a case to be the starter, possibly. And if they don't have KJ Wright, there's a guy that probably was the leading tackler in the preseason for the Seahawks. And the thing I keep saying about him is that he's been able to pull the trigger and just fly around. I've never seen a guy's speed show up on the field like him. It's amazing how fast he was. 4.38 40 at the combine, and it shows up on the field. He plays fast.
You take a look at the stats from both Griffin and Calitro. 8 tackles for Griffin, 4 of them solo. Austin Calitro, 7 tackles, 3 of them solo to go along with a sack. On the other side of the ball, Dave, did you like the fact that the Seahawks were taking some shots deep today?
Yeah, they want to do that, actually. You know, they want to run the ball, of course, first and foremost, but Pete's always been about taking shots downfield. And, you know, one of the guys that showed up was Stringfellow. He gets the 81-yard reception from Austin Davis for a touchdown. And, you know, he might make it tough. I keep saying this about how, you know, as a player, you want to make it tough to cut you. And there's one to Jaron Brown. But, you know, they'll take these shots downfield, deep. So this is, you know, the only thing was this year they had a couple of them called back because of penalties. But yeah, that's the Pete Carroll way, man. He wants to take shots downfield.
And we talked about it throughout the preseason, the importance of getting the running game going, because a lot of those deep passes came on play-action pass.
Yeah, definitely. And play-action suits Russell so well, but you have to have a running game in order to sell that. And I think Russell, one of his best attributes is he's like a magician with the ball.
Right.
I mean, you can't tell. The best quarterback I could compare him to from my era would be Boomer Esiason. He could hide the ball really well, and that's really instrumental in play-action pass. Also, it gets him out on the edge.
Well, if you missed any portion of tonight's broadcast or just want to watch it again, you can catch it here in Seattle on Sunday night / Monday morning. More like Monday morning because it's 1 a.m. on Q13 Fox. The Seahawks kick off the 2018 regular season in 10 days against their former AFC West rivals, the Denver Broncos. You can catch the NFL on Fox Sunday, September 9th. At 1:25 p.m. Our producer is Brian O'Connell, director is Pat Brown, and technical manager is Kurt Schaefer. For Dave Wyman, Curt Menefee, and Brock Huard, I'm Aaron Levine saying goodnight from CenturyLink Field. The Seahawks falling to the Raiders 30-19. Have a great night, everyone.